Oh shit, I need to change my title. Fuck. What is it? TR versus BLG VOD review. Does that change it? It does, yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, King. Hello, Joan. Yeah, I'm a little bit late. We're rewatching it live. What are my thoughts on Sen versus Wolves? Sen should win. Is that controversial? I don't think so. It's not controversial. Are you part-time staff on PRX or full-time? I consulted for PaperX. I consulted. I'm not part of their staff. Hello, aimbot. Utsev, was the Icebox Omen server recon and Viper play strategy by you? No. I have to keep reiterating. I've had, I've done like almost 2 days of work since they qualified to Toronto. There are some things that they do that I recognize as suggestions I made a long time ago, but I haven't sat there and made many like strats, if that makes sense. A lot of my input is like, I see what they're doing and I try and see if there's things that they could do better or little adjustments they can make. Personally, I wouldn't play Omen Sova on that map, Omen on that map. Like if I was to like make strategies, I wouldn't play Omen on Icebox. I wouldn't play Euro Rays on Pearl, but like I think it makes a lot of sense for PaperX. Thank you, Utsev. They say for a sleep schedule? Oh, because they won so quickly? What are my thoughts on TH Breach pick on Pearl? I think Anders said it best. Like, I actually don't mind Breach as much on Pro as maybe you'd suspect. I generally don't think Breach is an amazing agent. I don't think it's optimal. I think Anders put it best was like, the ways they were using it were not correct. They were using it to fight for A main control a lot of the time. I'm not gonna go into details of what like I would do, but like I don't think that it should be used just to fight for A main control. I don't think heretics understand the map as well as what. To fight for A main control as much as they did means to me that they don't understand the map, which I think most teams don't, to be honest. So. I heard Leo's trialing for a different team. I don't think it's true. I don't know, but I don't think it's true. Right, anyway, let's get on with this VOD review. I haven't watched, I listened to, like I was listening to the casting a little bit, just to listen to the casting, like I was listening to the radio or something, but I didn't watch any of this game. I watched maybe like a couple of rounds here, just because I was bored. So let's watch this game. So straight off the bat, it's Icebox. And it's a rough one, right? It's a rough one because Team Liquid are literally trolling with this comp. I could not think... I'd be hard-pressed to find... Like, I'll give this a tick. I give this like a... It's like, they're not... Whereas it's like, yes, yes, yes. Meh, yeah, little tick. To like, it's just, there's like a comp diff, you know what I mean? There's a big comp diff. In my opinion. So I don't really know what Team Liquid are doing on this map. FPX ran that comp last year and it wasn't the worst. Bro, like comps like this, like I guarantee you they won domestically and then maybe looked okay globally with this comp. There's not a chance that you could play this comp over 10 games at like high level and not just look like noobs. It's the same with EDG's Clove comp on Lotus. Like, I know it's shit. Like, I know how I would beat this comp immediately because it's just bad. Yeah, I mean, they didn't beat anyone globally with this comp, right? I mean, they looked okay here. They looked okay here, but they had to, like, stomp Heretics 10-2 on attack side. I ain't losing to this comp. I wouldn't lose that comp. Are you implying BLG's playstyle is worse than TL, but the one from comp? I'm implying that this comp you should be able to beat if you just think for a few seconds. To be honest with you, if you really understand the map theory, and then a team pulls out a comp like this, you immediately should be able to tell what the weaknesses are. Like, I'm wondering if I should bother. Like, I'm not going to reveal too much about Toronto because obviously I want Paper X to win. So I'm not gonna reveal too much about like immediate like weaknesses, but there's obvious fucking immediate weaknesses. Am I worried for Heretics? Yes, because they lack confidence, and when they lack confidence, they're not very good. I disagree. I think this comp is fine on attack. It's very weak on defense. I think this comp is terrible on defense. Yeah, I think it's really bad on defense.
Is one of the things that I was worried about for BLG in this event is when you got chaos thrown at you, what are you going to be able to do against it?
Retakes are fine with this comp? Nope. Not really. Like, just because you got a bunch of smokes doesn't mean it's good for retake.
Let us find out. Barriers are dropped.
Okay, right. I don't know who to focus on here. Should we focus on Team Liquid a little bit because they got the cookie comp? See what they're doing with it. So they can smoke mid they got a smoke mid because they got no orb, and then they cascade B long, knife A. I'll give them like a tick for this, like a 2-1-2. Put some pressure B long, put some pressure A. The only thing is that does this cascade actually deter people later on? Like, is a Jet just going to be able to like fuck you up anyway? Like, obviously, a big weakness with this comp is no Sova. There's no drone to like actually push off the operator player. But as an opening default, I think this is pretty good. Test him. Like, I think the best Icebox teams know how to take a bit of this control and a bit of this control. Whereas if you do just go for 4A all the time, then like you're susceptible to over rotations on A, and then like one asshole on B, or push outs on B.
0 Point going to get a decent amount of information. I believe 3 players going to be noted by that. Liquid able to identify the stack. Spike at the same time.
Like, on attack, if you're consistently able to get up to here and up to here, like you can do a lot with your mid round. Like, the defense is starved for information at that point. Like, they have this for mid info. But other than that, like, you can play the extremities pretty well if you get control of both of these things.
Slowly being ushered across towards this B side.
Gecko earlier than share is rough, yes. And now, like, I'm already annoyed. This kind of obsession with yellow as a position on the map, as if like this is. I think teams really have had this wrong for a very long time. Yellow's not a position on the map that matters that much, honestly. We don't need to throw a wall to literally take yellow control. It's a waste. To be honest. I mean, it is maybe not a waste because we got so many fucking smokes in this comp anyway, but it's a waste of an agent. Like, I don't think having to scale to yellow is like that important. Like, if you... Yeah.
As the wall gets set
If
up
I was
there.
doing proper analysis, I'd break that down deeper.
Can
But
create a lot of confusion with this comp as well. You're never really going to be sure which direction they're going. They can throw smokes everywhere on the map. They've got a bunch of different util to use with the initiators to sell fakes. This could be
yellow's
really
the most
tricky, but so
overrated
far,
shit, man.
BLG just holding the line behind their high
Fucking even smoking again. Like how pussy is this from Team Liquid? Like, not only have they used the whole wall, they now smoke again. Like, if I'm this player, I'm like, well, I think a really good player here is just like, why the fuck they smoking? Like, if they really wanted to, they would have crossed with this wall. And then, bro, they haven't even broke the alarm bot. Like, hello? This alarm bot's MVP right now. But honestly, very bad from Team Liquid.
Right at the ready.
Attempted a little bit
Pretty
of audio
bad.
bait there from Camo as the swing gets ready to come through. Patek already cleared out. Now Camo going to be taken down. That's
Nice reclear from BLG.
He's going to be pivoted back towards B. No.
Why is he not reviewing paperbacks? Imagine a team gave me some money to help them, and then I went on stream and told you all the things that went wrong with the team. Wouldn't that be kind of counterintuitive?
Cross through mid.
I didn't review paperbacks yesterday. I was watching them. I was co-streaming.
Down on the floor.
Like, imagine when I was head coaching Fnatic, I just started streaming Fnatic games and like breaking them down.
Realize, but yeah, that's going to be a damn good effort.
I mean, Kiko, I remember that. I did see that on Twitter.
So it can be online very quickly, and also fast tracking that ultimate. So it can be online very quickly. YZ able to find Patek.
So you're a consultant for heretics.
Classic. For the
Huh?
moment. Alone gets a little bit of reinforcements from Levius.
Are you really trying to be that person?
What they can get done here on the side. Penny TPing up above. Levius about to swing in, identifies it. He's able to save his teammate. Penny, a little bit of reinforcements from Levius as Team Liquid gonna look to see what they can get done here.
Okay, nice TP up Heaven.
Up above. Levius about to swing in, identifies it. He's able to save his teammate. Does end up getting taken down, but not before he's able to find two. Headshot
nice damage.
Connect, but Camo can't confirm the kill.
It's funny that Team Liquid have two very capable duelists on their team, maybe even three,
Just 3 targets to try to get through
and they play no duelists on this map.
Could get the reckoning off a kill.
Like, for a no duelist comp, this has got to be one of the worst attempts at a no duelist comp, I'm not gonna lie.
Is online. Bulldog recovered, but why is he down below? We'll be able to drag Billy over the line.
G2's no duelist beats this, Fnatic's no duelist beats this. Like, the Omen no duelist comps beat this, that are just like standard. The Chamber no duelist comps beat this. Hello, Honeychamp. Did you VOD review Gen G before Toronto? I think so. What triple duelist would you run on Icebox if you had to? If I had to run triple duelist on Icebox? Duelist? I mean, I'm not. Jet, Reyna, Yoru, probably. Or Waylay? Waylay? Maybe a Waylay? We need the Reyna. Yeah, Reyna's locked in. These three are locked in. Maybe Waylay, I think. Because we need some kind of vague like initiation. So we could end up just using Waylay as like we don't have a Sova drone. ISO? It's not bad. Yeah, ISO ain't bad.
Plenty of noise being made here by Team Liquid. Stomping their way forward.
Bro, it said triple duelist. We need a Sentinel, we need a Viper. And then we need to try and supplement the fact we don't have Sova with other agents.
Leaving it for the taking. Waits out the reckoning. Like now going to be planted. Leaving it position. Plenty of noise being made here by Team Liquid. Stomping.
Okay, Harbor ult A.
I suggest you move. Maneuvers starting to come out here from Billy as they look to try to get into position.
I do wonder sometimes, like, I guess when you're going to use a big ult like this, it would be great to get some information as to whether you need to use it or not. But unfortunately, this comp doesn't have that ability to know. They don't have drones, so they gotta send it. And then immediately, no Killjoy turret flank. We have a flank coming in. Pretty nice from BLG. Against no, I guess that what Team Liquid are gonna do with these smokes is continue to cycle smokes and try and play really deep post plants. But then I think they just insta lose the flank, don't they?
For the taking, waits out the reckoning. Like now gonna be
Three people flank.
They're going to be coming from a lot of different angles. Billy, very patient, very diligent team.
Russia going to be noted there around the back. Paranoia going to be sent
Pushing all the way out.
That's going to be Levius now taken down. Serial
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have sent 3 people flank, and their contain on CT was kind of shit.
Remaining players of Billy now arriving over onto the side. Full connection on the flash. YZ has the tuck back. Camo on the peak. Able to find K9 finding Russia.
That looked nice to us.
YZ see if he can put a dent in this Liquid squad at all. He cannot. Flawless fashion. Team Liquid get themselves on the board.
This is beautiful from Team Liquid, and Penny, the hometown hero, with a great paranoia to clear out Levius on the stairs. Really nice stuff from Team Liquid. But you can see the game plan here is to scale off of these smokes quickly and keep Billy off balance. This is something I think that they're noticing a trend with Billy in China, is that teams like XLG that come at them quick, they don't often react properly to it. And if you can catch them when they're trying to get their setups, trying to get their perfect plays into position, they often crumble.
So, my thoughts right now, sorry, I was listening to Paperthin, because I was thinking, how would because I think I've noticed something kind of that I'd speak about a cast, and then I was like thinking about how it's so now I want to see, now that Team Liquid know this is coming in, and BLG know this is coming in, how do both teams adapt to the weird post-plant retake situations they find themselves in? The gap with the Sentinel, the lack of Sentinel, the forward pressure we're getting in these post plants, how are these things resolved? The other thing that I've remembered is that Nats isn't playing. And Nats' playstyle on this map is to be an asshole in the middle. And if Nats isn't playing, then you know that Team Liquid are probably more likely to go for more direct approaches. So that might be something in the back of BLG's mind too.
Going to the first buy round now. Liquid are going to be able to go ahead and tie
no one breaks that?
Around now.
I guess I think that's a missed knife lineup, by the way. Although it could be to land here so that you can't break it from top site. We used to have anti-knife protocols where like we had someone always ready to break the knife, like, but I don't think people are very good at the game at the moment. Sometimes they're just tanking fucking knives.
YZ once again, full flash connecting, has to drop down off the back of yellow. Liquid though slowing down a bit. Okay, so right now Team Liquid have kind of like we've not been able to see their approach too much because they've literally used Harbor ult and now they're using Gecko ult. So my question for them is like how are they going to be playing these rounds out when they don't have ults? Like obviously when they got ults they can just scale up to a spot and then just use their ult. Pretty simple. My next question is when they don't have these ults, what is going to happen? Because this is too easy. Like anyone can play this round out. Like the comp isn't going to look so shit when you're just ulting people and pushing. Penny again goes for that top side TP. I'd argue a bit of a waste of a TP. Like when you're in an advantage situation, a rule that we have with like Durka was that like if we're in an advantage situation or anti-eco, don't dive deep. Like, if we're in a 5v3 and you find yourself diving into the back of the site for some reason, you fucked up. And so Penny here is fucked up. Like, they're in an advantage. They clearly can win this round easily, and he's TP'd it into a blind smoke. Like, that's a mistake. What maps could you even play Teo on? I think Fracture is the one that people seem to think.
Yeah, there's just no follow-up plan.
But I think none of them. Honestly, I think none of them. Yeah, Patman, I mean, I told Patman yesterday, I messaged him, I was like, bro, like, I was very impressed. And then I praised him today, saying he was playing like fucking prime Nats on Icebox yesterday.
Got some good, making it really tricky for Billy to find the angles that they want to hold these positions, to kind of play against the utility that they're
okay, so no ults, but anti-eco now. So another round where Team Liquid are probably going to be fine. And we're not going to be able to like break down too much about like the back and forth between the teams. So the KO knife, like this is something that Europe is pretty good at. I'll give us credit. You know, we might be shit right now, but you know, just simple KO knife scaling B. Like it's simple stuff that I think that some of the teams miss. You know, the knife was used earlier on. This feels very similar to the 2-1-2 they did earlier, right? Like they threw this knife, they threw this smoke, they did a cascade here. And it feels pretty much the same. But this time there's 4 people here. So if there's someone immediately looking down here, it might feel like it's still just like a basic 2-1-2.
Two Stingers and Sheriffs abound here for Billy. They look to pull off a thrifty.
Will I also watch the games live? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to, so I'm really happy that I'm getting more viewers with the co-streams. Like, I think yesterday I was averaging probably like up to like 500 maybe, which is really nice to see. Because when I first started co-streaming, I was getting 100 like earlier this year. So it's nice to see like a bit of a difference. But I think it's nicer for me to just do VOD reviews and then focus on co-stream and just Paper X. So yeah.
Clear on the alarm bot, TP back yellow.
That's what I want to do for the moment. If I see that like the VOD reviews become less popular and then like co-streaming becomes more popular, then maybe I'll do it that way. The other argument for me doing VOD reviews is that I'm an analyst now, right? Like for broadcast. And for me to really understand what's happening in these games and to like understand the teams, it's better if I watch the games slowly and with time, rather than just watching it live when there's like more emotion and energy and like you can't skip and go back and stuff, you know. Thank you very much, Durka. 10 subs from Mr. Durka. Love that. Thank you very much. Do I need to say everyone's name? Alo. Is that Ali? Lurkin, Ember, Captain. How do I say this? I think I know who you are. How do I say that? I'm sorry. I'm not. I should know, but I know it's Irish. I know I fucking suck. How do I say that name? I don't want to embarrass myself as an ignorant Englishman. Kodashi, Norris, Izu, Doc Icewater, Swifty, and a lone Solstice. No, Solstice, sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you, Balex. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, how do I say that name? I fucking suck, man. Aoife. Is it Aoife? Pronounced Aoife. An Irish name meaning beautiful or radiant. Bro, that's kind of a sick name to have for Valorant, right? Having Aoife as your as your name. It means radiant.
Right as rain. So now you have to deal with all of these smokes in a retake scenario. It's an absolute nightmare for Billy.
Camo, one away from his ult too.
What's going on here? Why is my stream manager going crazy? Bro, it's really off-putting. Why is there dancing stuff happening?
Piece of the puzzle to consider here for Billy.
It's a hype train? Oh, okay.
Just like in the smoke.
Now the tables are turned. I'm now the one paying you salary. Bro, I don't know if you know how coaches works, but like I never paid you a salary. That wasn't my job. Okay, right. Gun round. And finally, Team Liquid don't have ults, but we get some cheeky ults on the other side. So my big question already is BLG a team that actually uses their ults? Are they going to set up in a way that we're going to see these ults used? Or are they going to die before they use these ults? Camo's got his Clove ult, so he can go a bit ham. See if they do anything. Again, 2-1-2. Well, it's more like a 2-0-3, I guess. 2-1-2. You see already, like just in this split second, I can see them pulling away from B, right? So again, conditioning knife, conditioning cascade, conditioning smoke. And they can do this every single round, and now group 5A, and it feels like they're spread across the map. So that's what they're doing right now. Is they're probably wanting to go A, but they're going to continue to do this conditioning utility so that this Viper doesn't know what's going on and has to fall back. So nice little default from Team Liquid. Like realistically, with the Viper in this position, probably should be getting help right now. To be honest with you, it's quite ballsy for them to just be this confident that they're not about to be exec'd on. Maybe it's to do with the amount of noise that we're seeing here. Maybe the recon spotted some people and stuff, but this is quite ballsy, I'd say.
Playing passive
it's like BLG are currently taking a risk right now that there isn't about to be a BX. They don't know if there is or not. So Camo can take that duel because he's got ult, but realistically, is he going to be able to
he's going to be able to find an elimination and earn that life back. No. Sure will quickly put him back into the grave.
Just your standard Icebox, some stupid duels and trades happening. It's a messy round though.
For now, still.
It's just Icebox, A site. I can't really break this down, to be honest with you. I feel like Knight. I think Patty's got a nice shot there, to be honest, to win that. The flood-in from BLG was just nicer. Like, Rush. What's his name? Is it Russia? Yeah. It's like, this player here gets distraction, and then this player here peaks off that distraction, then this player here peaks off of this distraction. Like, I know it looks stupid, but like, this is really good, like, trading. It might be lucky, but like, this is what like trading's all about. It's like one person making distraction for another player to peak, and then this player is like knows that they're distracted over here, and then he gets to like take an angle. Like it's just, yeah. These are the little things you think about when you're coaching with the subs. It's like, how can you divert attention and crossfire and things like that, you know?
And that's getting YZ in a position where he could start doing damage.
Mini owns Fnatic. I had the whole budget the whole time. I think Colin would be kind of annoyed if I started taking credit for the budget too. I think Colin might be annoyed.
Bigging him up. Let's see if Billy can start stringing some rounds together. They've got some big ults to play with. They've got a reckoning. They've got a lockdown.
Jing holding Omen ult for 9 rounds on defense. Okay, like, let's be real. Paper Rex ain't exactly the best team in the world at using their ults, but they're not bad. And Jing holding an Omen ult on defense is like, bro, what the fuck is he supposed to do with it? Like, there might be rounds he probably should have used it, but like, it's Omen ult on defense of Icebox. It's not exactly the most impactful ult in the world. Okay, so Team Liquid throwing the smoke, making it look like they're gonna TP up here, but he's Snowman instead. This is the shenanigans that everyone knows, that like, people know that like this isn't 100%, and if it isn't here, it's probably here, so it's not that strange.
Snowman here.
But again, is that knife on A again from Patty? Cascade. Yeah, so the full conditioning still.
Where's he gonna go? Okay, back towards Snowman here.
BLG taking a risk though. BLG now playing 4B. Interesting. I don't really know what the set was supposed to be. Like, if you see, like, okay, this player's watching mid, which is fine. But why is our Harbor player here? Like, this is like a bait and switch set, right? Like, he's gonna make contact, and then the jet is hidden. But why is Harbor stood here? Like, shouldn't Harbor be, like, stood here or something? So that he can, like, swing and help this? I don't really know what they're doing with this, to be honest. Doesn't look very well thought out. Oh my god, Beast, thank you very much. Wait, oh yeah, Beast said that he was gonna... Did you say you were gonna sub? You said you're gonna sub if Paperworks won 2-0. I know Colin is the happiest manager in the world right now when he got the whole team addicted to Pokemon cards. Never-ending team bonding. This weird, right, Dirk? Like, don't you remember Jake? Like, Jake is kind of like the most how do I say it? Like, he doesn't love spending money, and yet Pokemon cards, he's just spending fucking hundreds at a time on these fucking Pokemon cards right now. Thank you, Beast. Sub into Wender. Det Vow. FH Fake. Luna. Moonbear. Casper. Sparum. Alex Bowd. Seetnar. Super. And Neem Neem Neemi. Thank you very much, Beast. I appreciate that. Boaster is so stingy. That's the word, stingy. Boaster is stingy, but with Pokemon cards, he's like maybe a new man. Okay, Wizzy. Wizzy? Oh, the trades from BLG are nice though. They do, like, the fundamentals of just like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's like pretty basic shit, but the trading's pretty nice. Unlucky not to kill Camo.
So now it's going to be the player advantage here for the side of Billy.
And with this default that the Team Liquid have, the knife allows Patty to get into this space kind of free. If that makes sense, like, because the defenders are not going to always hard push into this space against the knife. And so when they do like their 4-1, he does have timings on A, because you'd expect that if these you know, if there's a big brawl happening here, they're probably rotating this way. So Patty catches a nice timing.
Lurk up here from Patatek, but Levius reading this suspicious.
Thank you, Log. I'm not going to say the rest of your name, but thank you, Log.
Another one, though. This one just meant to tag up Patatek just a bit. Lockdown now. Going to be sent through. Patatek does have the fragment. Could try to clear it instead.
Bro, it's like it save a couple of euros. That's so funny. I'm not going to say the worst example of it. There's an example. There's the example when we went out for dinner with like Shopify Rebellion and Tens and Kaede. That was really bad, and I don't want to say what it is, but it's pretty bad. But I like name dropping the fact that we went for dinner with all those nice people.
K-Knight is able to do so. Fragment could try to clear it instead, or to try to get a catch there onto K-Knight and is able to do so. He's going to be in such a rough spot.
Patty did so well. Patty did so well this round. A bit stupid from BLG, honestly. Like, I like the fact that BLG committed to using the ult for the retake, but a little bit stupid to get caught off, I think. I think this death is acceptable. This death here, like, they should trade this very easily. Or they should, like, they shouldn't die before trading. I think that this was a bit bad.
For the tap, seems like he is reading that he's going to be nearby. Camo going for 3, 2, 1, pushes in and catches the timing. Finds a headshot and Liquid once again get themselves into the lead. What a round from Patatek there.
Cove kind of
Just being so
Cove's kind of catfish there, right?
Up a bit.
Isn't Cove a little bit catfish?
Forward, gets himself past the wall. Does Russia have any idea at all?
No, it's not catfish actually.
He is reading that he's going to be nearby.
Oh, he's he left the cove. That's not catfish. That's just a harbor leaving his cove. That's not. Yeah. Timing a little bit bad, but
catches the timing. Finds a headshot, and Liquid once again get themselves into the lead.
What a round from Patatek there. Just being so aggressive once that lockdown is planted. And it catches
Durka, did you see Sideshow playing in our fucking in our show match? People were calling him Bold Durka, but also Doncaster Durka. The Doncaster's just this like random place in the UK that's just like kind of a mid place, you know, like not somewhere anyone cares about it. So he was doing quite well. So he's Doncaster Durka, which is kind of funny.
And then he throws a great flash to make sure he can clear screens and at least make it a 1v1.
Show the stats. No, he went like plus 25 or something, plus 30. It was pretty funny.
Coleman collected there at the end. Finds the perfect timing. You can see Patatek bigging him up. And
the weird thing is, I don't get why I'm so shit at Valorant. Like, I feel like when I watch other people play Valorant that are like around my level, I'm like, their pre-aim makes no sense to me. They don't hold their crosshair in a position that makes sense to me, and they don't clear angles in a way that makes sense to me, and yet they kill people and I don't.
Billy once again going to be knocked back onto a very rough economy.
I did drop 30 against Prime Gambit standing in for you.
He does have the
But when I'm playing against fucking content creators, I can't even get as many kills as like anyone else.
5-player push getting ready to come through here from Team Liquid. The walls getting set up. The smoke's ready to be cycled in.
You were getting ready to gift, and I ended the stream. I apologize. I forgot all about it, Beast, to be honest with you. I do appreciate it, though. Okay, right. Eco for BLG.
He does have the jet knives.
Nothing outstanding, really. For the first time ever, no knife on A. I think no knife on A. I'd be very tempted to immediately, like, if I didn't see a knife, I'd recon probably here and just rotate. Or something like that. I feel like it's kind of obvious that Team Liquid are about to go B.
5-player push getting ready to come through here from Team Liquid. The walls getting set up.
Are they going to use Gecko ult?
Is it Dizzy clearing things out and Wingman at the ready to go for the plant.
Team Liquid's been doing
a recon deep B long, but this isn't a good recon in my opinion. This is interesting actually. Maybe something to talk about.
Clearing things out.
I think to get information in a position where we know where people are is like the wrong way to approach Valorant. I think if this was a drone where we could see who was here, it would make sense. But because there's a recon, it's likely to get broken, number one. So all you confirm is that there's still people belong, which we know that anyway. And then it's like you're not guaranteed to actually even catch enough people to know if there's anyone here or here, if that makes sense. Whereas if you recon somewhere A, you can confirm there's nobody here, and therefore deduce that there's probably a lot of people here, if that makes sense. Whereas we already kind of know there's some people here, and the recon will just get broke most of the time, so that all you're doing is reconfirming there's people here. I'll think about this more though, because I think there's lots of instances where like the information game in this game is not very well explained to the casual viewer or to like people who watch Valorant, and I think it's very interesting. And one of the big differences between like trophy winning teams, I'd say, and like the not trophy winning teams probably.
Doesn't try to interrupt. Levy's does get a nice headshot there. K-Knight going to be taken down, so won't be able to see the Hunter's Fury come into effect.
I always feel like I could easily win gunfights in pro matches, and I remember I plateau. I mean, I'm not talking about pro matches. I'm talking about me versus Sideshow and Mitch and fucking Sliggy and stuff, not pro players. I would admit that I don't think I beat Dirk in a one-on-one Angel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that delusional.
I need to see them be more. They don't got to.
Okay, 5-3. So Team Liquid look completely in control right now, but I know they lose this game. So what changes?
Some cleaner results here for Billy.
I mean, my guess was that this comp would do absolutely fine on attack and then suck on defense. So maybe it's just that. Again, knife, smoke, cascade. Do they just disrespect cascade and flank? And then finally we see Kiko doing a Nats impression.
Here from K-Knight, who realizes that they completely left mid wide open.
But I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing.
No Viper ult usage as well. No Viper ult usage. I guess that Viper ulting A is risky because of the Gecko ult, but I wouldn't hate that old what's the old ult people do? The Asian team. Xersha? We call it Xersha ult. Where you just like reactively ult backside off of like noise. I think Xersha ult would be quite good here. Like this Gecko ult comes in and now you just Xersha ult.
This might catch Team Liquid a little.
Like you just stand here and then ult in front of you.
A little bit off guard. Kiko finally turning.
It's called Xersha.
Back and he's gonna have the jump and it's a 1-2 tap.
Finally turning.
Turns back and he's gonna have the jump. And
I mean, BLG should be aware of that.
Knocked out of the park to push forward into the smoke and
Hello, Beast.
Camo perfectly poised.
Yeah, it's off of noise or turret contacts usually.
Not much left to be done. There's the spot out.
Your pro was very nice and thoughtful. I can't take. If you're being serious, I can't take any credit for it. Like I don't think I. The irony is that I watched them play scrims and I gave them some notes about the scrims because they didn't play. They played much better in the official than they did in scrims. Like even some of the early adjustments were very strong. They played considerably better in the official than they did in scrims when I watched. I don't know if they were just tired or something because like they just landed. But yeah, they were very strong. They were much better. I think there's still obviously things that some holes, but
you have no idea. You have no util that's really going to help you clear it.
I think in scrims they were just a bit tired or something because they were doing things in that game that were like kind of good.
After they lost 2 players early, just got shut right down. Team Liquid players right there, ready and waiting with open arms.
Yeah, that was not my comp. That's not a mini comp. When they told me they're running the comp though, I didn't like. I think the way I gotta see it though is that like, you know, I have the comps that I want to play, right? Like the mini comps, but like I can't. There's no point of thinking in terms of the comps I play because they don't play my style of Valorant. So it's like there's no point of playing these comps. So like when they want to play their comps, there are some comps where like I get into their headspace where like I try and think like, well, what makes sense for them, and like the comp that they played I think makes a lot of sense for them, to be honest with you. I think in terms of like
for the EMEA squad,
there may be like 1 or 2 things you could do differently, but like genuinely I think it's pretty close to optimal for Paper X, if that makes sense.
Billy, still a bit of money to work with here. Question is, do they just send this pit off the rip? They do have.
There's some other maps where like I think I suggested changes, or like I was like I don't think this is as good as like this other comp that like would suit you better.
They might just try to barrel through it, honestly.
If that makes sense.
Not sending it.
Yeah,
Like, the way I would
maybe
analyze
off all
Paper X
that
is very
util,
different than most teams,
Team
right? Like,
Liquid maybe trying
there's
to
no
bait it
point
out
in
a
me
little bit
talking
there
about
as well,
optimal comps with
again,
Paper X because they
aggressive
don't.
positionings from Billy. Like the
That's not their
ideas.
strength to play
Team Liquid
perfect
read it
Valorant,
so
you
well.
know?
Pretty much everybody spotted out. Let's get the drone tag onto Camo. We should try to.
They're waiting for this.
And they're like world class at like certain things that are not related to the composition in the same way, if that makes sense. Like, they are world class at things that double duelist allows you to do, or the ways in which double duelist wants you to play. They are world class at those things.
Just handed him a resurrection on a silver platter.
It's a madman.
What actually happened here? Sorry.
Thought maybe off all that. So far, Neff.
Not sending it.
Yeah, I thought maybe off all that util, I think Team Liquid maybe trying to bait it out a little bit there as well. But again, aggressive positionings from Billy. Like the ideas. But Team Liquid read it so well.
Pretty much everybody spotted out. Let's get the drone tag onto Camo. We should try to.
They're waiting for this.
From the side.
Waiting for aggression, and they lose it.
Comes away with that elimination, forces
And that Clover's doing nothing, right?
Now they can just back away. Try to wait out this ultimate.
What is he doing, man?
Why is he sticks around for a little bit, but can't tell when.
Bro, if I was casting right here, this guy would be getting flamed for the next, like, 30 seconds.
Safety and Camo is right back into the fray. Just handed him a resurrection on a silver platter.
It's a madman.
Peeking alongside the wall, trying to see if anyone plays here at Pipes, but Team Liquid, they pumped the brakes.
That was honestly dreadful from YZ. Like, that's just, like, right? Like, that's just terrible. Like, I don't know what he's trying to do.
When they need to.
I mean, YZ, he is known for being just a wild player.
Take a shot whenever
There's
Ghostface
jumping over
that makes
the top,
sense.
but have the secondary peek in from Camo.
What are your thoughts on C and L comps? What's C and L comps?
Overwhelmed. Line up there, but
This is
Legacies
a
only
D's
able to
nuts
collect
show.
on one.
Spike planted.
Penny down to a sliver.
That was a bigger match fix than anything Sean showed in this video. I wouldn't go that far, but it was pretty bad.
Here on the Omen. Kiko unscathed so far, and they're just going to look to try to double stack here. Got this backside position now separating a bit. There's up and over the top. He's just got no.
The meta just shifts to pre-Tejo. Hot take, it shouldn't, because Yoru and Vice exist. Like, a Yoru exists in a buff state compared to pre-Tejo. And we didn't get to see what pre-Tejo meant in this meta with these agents. The meta will do, like, we'll see mostly people playing standard stuff, but I still think that, like, there's gonna be like a better meta than just playing standard double this year.
Yeah, this is a tough one for Billy. YZ is a tremendously skilled player. His mechanics are very.
Why do people think one day will change anything for EMEA teams? What do you mean, one day? One day? What are you talking about? What are we arguing with? Isn't Yoru a bit nerfed since Caretaker? I mean, he got a tiny nerf. Do you think anyone will play Deadlock? I do, but I don't think it's as strong as people think.
Right as he's trying to come down. Of course, he's been spotted before that as well.
Like, it's like the highest level. I don't think it's as strong as people think.
30 seconds left.
That's a mistake. That's one you can't afford at this stage in the game. That's going to give minimum 7 to Team Liquid on this half. As good as YZ can be.
People are saying one day of extra prep for EMEA teams will change the results today. Where is this one day coming from, guys? I don't know what you're talking about. The argument is that why VCT scheduled 2 EMEA team matches for yesterday given the time issues, and my response was blaming the poor manager. Yeah. Okay. I kind of get the takes. The extra day wouldn't have mattered. It would not have made a difference. The scheduling for EMEA has been bad, and I'll be honest, like, certain qualifiers and tournaments happening between these events has made it weird for teams that have. But then Paper X have been very busy this month, and one of the reasons why I haven't been helping them as much is because they've been very busy.
There's the pit, now finally going to be invested.
They were busy playing tournaments without their 5th player. Like,
see him pick it up.
So a reactive ult
Two more
on
rounds to play
site.
here in the half. As there's the pit, now finally going to be infested. Levy is able to find one. Penny going to be taken down, but
When we used to know we were doing this ult, we'd often use this alarm bot here. Just to like secure the backside of the ult.
quite a bit of damage. Down to 2 HP here is the Killjoy.
That's
Spraying through, catches a stray, and Russia gets taken down. Push forward through all the walls.
so stupid.
Is here this time.
This is dumb. It's just smokes and smokes and smokes. Oh my god, Knight railed him.
As we are diving into the depths of chaos, Patatek will not be able to make it happen. YZ picks up the Vandal, finds the headshot, and gets Billy another round win, breaking the win streak of Team Liquid.
That is one way to pick it up. Nice round for YZ there. Ready for
One day. One day.
There's a chance.
Okie dokie, right.
There it goes.
Yeah, Team Liquid are looking good. The cycling of ults from Team Liquid's been very strong. I would argue that if Team Liquid weren't if they had started this game slow, I didn't cycle these ults or have momentum around the ults, this attack side wouldn't even look as good as what it does right now. But I think a lot of this attack side looking good is based off of their ult cycling and the momentum they gained from it. I mean, they still struggled here. Why did they struggle? They struggled because where are the smokes?
Null command coming through. Levy is going to be making his way across the map. Be in position as YZ is just absolutely.
I mean, right now it'd be nice if we had a harbor wall coming in to stop this player killing people. I'm surprised with the amount of smokes they got. They wouldn't even just like smoke like something stupid.
Absolutely screwed. Fragment at his feet, previously tagged up, but Patatek now going to be on the floor. Resable, but Camo and Penny both end up falling. Serial able to fight.
Have I tried Iranian food? That's a good question.
On the floor would love to try to go for the res.
That's a good
Cannot make
question.
it happen. Far too risky. Go at the same time. Lurking forward.
Iranian food.
Turret does reveal. That should lead Billy to realize that there's going to be this rotate across.
I got a feeling I probably have at some point.
They're going to go pushing out through a main though.
Maybe not. It looks like a lot of meat actually.
Got a ton of util here.
I think I've had Afghan food.
Still got Levius's ult, but
Are you gonna be hearing all of this?
Yeah, for the backstab.
I'm a vegetarian, so like I've probably had. What I have recently actually. I had something nice recently.
We'll not be able to find one, but Kiko getting closer. Circling them here as the lockdown is invested. He's going to play it patiently now. Striking finds one. Lockdown going to be cleared out.
Bro, the bread looks nice
Gets
though.
away.
The Iranian bread looks kind of nice.
To safety. Spike now, the fuse getting started. A bounce there, not able to find it. Drop down.
You'd have to recommend me some vegetarian Iranian food.
To make this happen, has to go for the repeat, and Russia narrowly gets it done.
Okay, right. This is the side where I expected Team Liquid to do a bit worse with this composition. I don't think the comp is very good on defense. You wouldn't say Heretics are any good? I think Haven they're strong at. Lotus they're not bad at. What other maps are there in the pool? They're very strong on Haven. They're not bad at Lotus. They're not good at Split. And they weren't bad at Sunset. Their Veto versus Paper Rex made a lot of sense, I'm not going to lie. Like, even though Icebox is a map that's, like, weaker for them, they knew they were still getting Lotus, probably. Or maybe even Sunset. So, it was a fine Veto, I think. But maybe you could flip it around and be like, well, they might have just got Lotus anyway. No, Icebox anyway. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how it would have gone if they flipped.
Let's go ahead and see who's going to be able to take this one in the second half.
I'm late, but why isn't Liquid playing a Viper or a Sensi? Because... Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. No way you're revealing Paper Rex on strats on stream? I'm not revealing Paper Rex strats on stream.
Already, Kiko trying to take some mid control. We saw it on the attacker side. He was pretty aggressive towards that space. Using that high tide, keep Billy guessing, but
I mean, the reality of it is like they don't have nats, right? So not having nats means that comps are difficult. But that doesn't mean that you should, like, Viper and Killjoy on this map are probably, they're like S++ to the point where like you need them. Then like Sova is like an S+ or an S, and then Gecko Sage are like an S to me. So like they have one they have one of the 5 that like is good.
right now, Billy just looking at A, but
Whereas BLG have
it's rarely where they will
3 of the
finish.
5, with Jet being like pretty good. What comp would you have run? The favorite comps for me are like depending what duelist you have, like you would almost always have Viper, Sova, KJ, right? And then depending on your team, I like Gecko, Sage, Jet, Chamber. Like these are the 4 I'd probably choose between for like these last 2 slots, depending on your team's comfort and like what you need. I mean, I think you need one of these 2. Like you need one of these 2 at least, though. For TL specifically or in general? This is in general. This is if I was coaching a team, I would probably be a little bit annoyed if we didn't find a composition that had these 3 agents and then like one of Gecko Sage and then one of the rest of the 4 probably. KO is very good as well. No. No Omen, no. I don't think Omen's as good as these agents. Potentially Omen, like instead of the Jet, if we really need it. But it's a bit lower on my list. Like it's lower on my list. Like if our Jet player is not comfortable to play Jet on this map, or our duelist isn't comfortable to play Jet on this map, we might as well just not play a kind of agent that does the duelist kind of stuff, in my opinion. Like the Omen is trying to be a duelist. Is KO good on this map? The answer is no. The answer is that there's a big fat Gecko gap. Gecko absolutely diffs the fucking living daylights out of KO on this map, and I don't think it's close. Like you could make this like the biggest diff of your life. What's the value of Chamber? I mean, it's like that 5th slot, right? Where it's like, if you think about it historically, like the Jet is played quite a lot on this map for verticality. And then the smokes maybe sometimes like cross space and not bad, but mostly like verticality. You get the ult as well. I remember historically like Anders being like the ult is good because it means that your economy is like better for buying operators. But a lot of the things that I just said bar these smokes are Chamber things too. You know? Like there's some stuff that Jet can do that Chamber can't in terms of like dashing for space, deep into sites and stuff, or going for certain peaks, or going for certain like plays on defense. But I don't think there's like a giga gap between Jet and Chamber in terms of like what they can do on that defense. The Chamber's a bit more limited with some of the more aggressive options, I feel like, whereas Jet can do some of these slightly more aggressive things more consistently. But the counterbalance is that you get a trip, and trips are kind of good. If you got a trip like here consistently, it's kind of annoying. If you've got a trip like just an extra trip, it's kind of nice on this map.
Player advantage to Billy. He's going to go creeping up the tube, this double push. Do they focus at all? The turret certainly is going to. Now maybe with an opportunity, but actually...
Sorry, pistol round.
and see who's going to be able to take
Okay,
this
so
one
we're looking at
instead.
Team Liquid mostly. How are
Already
they gonna... So it looks like one of their plans is to wall off like this. Quite a nice wall, actually. It's for B and middle. And because they have a redundancy of smokes, they probably should be doing this wall quite a lot.
Trying to take some mid control. We saw it on the attacker side. He was pretty
KO knife for info on B.
aggressive towards that space. Using that high tide. Keep Billy guessing, but right now, Billy just looking at A, but where they start is rarely where they will finish.
Double push, keep going, able to find one pad attack.
Where they start is rarely where they finish. Okay, that's nice insight from paper then.
Will actually just get wall banged out. Wisey able to find him there with the sheriff in the end. So player advantage to Billy. He's going to go creeping up the tube. This double push. Do they focus at all? The turret certainly is going to. Neff now maybe with an opportunity, but actually doesn't go for the peek outside window. He's trying to play this still quietly. But he's getting
The timing from Neff is funny.
Ammo rotating around the back, but he's got knife out. That's what Neff does strike. Stealing sight. Sent out as Wisey's just got him lined up. That's going to be another pistol going the way of BLG, as it's now just one round separating the two teams.
Yeah, so this is quite interesting.
Your list Wendler to me strikes me as the list where like you've done how do I explain it? Your list looks like a list where it's like you've tried to like really look at the maps and kind of look at popularity on maps. Whereas I don't think I would do my list in that way, if that makes sense. Like I'd almost be like willing to put like I would happily put Raze just above Jet, and I can't remember if you did. Just because even though Raze is less popular on a lot of maps, like you know what I mean? Like you're basically saying Yoru's better than Jet, but Raze still has a niche that's like better than Jet. So probably for me would like I'd have Yoru in the S tier and then the A Raze, and then Jet B, if that makes sense. I don't know if you did it like that though. I can't remember. But then with some agents where it's like
quickly rotating back to punish it.
I don't know.
And then retaking that open space that Team Liquid gives up over towards A. Of course, Neff with a great lurk.
Oh, that's nice. Scaling behind the cascade, like that's pretty cool. Stack from Team Liquid, but they're eco, so it should be pretty easy for BLG here. They found him. Got your Valorant license, mate. You got your Waterloo license. Bro, I'm getting hungry. I might just get a snack, one sec. I got these little bars, one sec.
In their post plants. That is one of the most dangerous aspects of BLG. You let them get into post plants safely. Obviously in this round not important, but going forward, I
drank a protein shake and went to the gym, and I haven't eaten anything real.
As we wait for this spike to go off, Team Liquid pretty much just playing the minigame of don't die to Wisey or Neff.
Have these fucking wafers. It's gonna go everywhere. I know it's gonna go everywhere as well. Fuck. It's already dropped.
Risha wants to try to get a bit more charge here, trying to get that reckoning on.
This isn't real either. I need to get some real food once I've done the stream.
Make it happen. Drop down, however, going to be heard. He's going to go rushing forward, but the spike will swallow him.
Probably the least stream friendly food I could eat right now.
Okay.
Crunchy fucking wafer.
Team Liquid. We saw once they got rifles in hand, that's when they were able to start stringing rounds together. The buy not going to be super amazing for BLG. Couple rifles, bulldogs, and a stinger. Team Liquid spreading out the map a little bit. We got Patty Tech camo on A. Serial in mid, and two smokes over on B. Just really trying to get a read on the Billy.
People think too highly of smokes, man. Smokes fucking suck.
Bit of early pace there.
Like, who cares, man? Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, we use one piece of util, we just go through it, or we just wait.
From YZ, but somebody from Team Liquid overstepping. A lot of this is going to come down to Neff. He can break open some space in the kitchen.
Stuck just behind this corner of the wall. Poison orb now going to be sent up. Serial not spotting out anything here. The swing in. There's a spot, and Serial will be able to find the headshot. Stealing taken care of. Paranoia now going across. Risha
Spike down.
Be on the
B.
floor as well. 2-player advantage now for the side of Team Liquid. The Spike's position confirmed. Team Liquid once again looking good to close out this anti-bonus. Take some real heroics for BLG to try to drag this round back in.
Statistically, 1 out of 5 driving accidents
sure.
are by drunk drivers, while 4 out of 5 are by sober drivers, so we should all drive drunk.
Maybe use K-Knight. He can sell it with a recon here. But they're still
There are
about
people
B.
with jobs who... People have jobs and get paid lots of
quite
money
Hell of a
to
shot.
bastardize
challenge them?
statistics like that.
He's just going to tuck in. And they're just going to
They're
send
called
wide
evil
side
people.
zone. Look at BLG here, playing isolated.
But that's
Just
literally
trying to find
like
an open
how...
side, but got a little bit of a spot there.
Yeah.
Caddy Tech. You're going to lose K-Knight. Everything's crumbling.
Yeah, everything falling to pieces there. It's going to be a flawless fashion. No damage dealt here to the side of Team Liquid, and that's going to do wonders for their economy. BLG, yes, now go in for the actual full purchase round, but not being able to even get a lick of damage out. A rough look for them going into round 16.
Man.
Given that the stage desk and chairs are kind of generic, are the players able to find near optimal position arms monitors? Are they given time to set up on stage? Players have a tech check day. Players have a tech check day in which all the settings and all their kind of monitor stuff is written down. So it should be pretty easy. And then also like everyone's in the same position. Like no one gets an advantage. Just like who cares?
Oh boy, hold on.
There might have a bit of a messy fight here. It's okay. Russia just has him lined up. Hiko and Camo.
Standing ahead.
Hey, Sarah.
The rip.
What happened?
Not sure either way. Russia. Damn lucky with it.
99% of gamblers quit before they win.
And is able to find it's down to 1 HP. Regen shield will reinforce.
There's a statistic I remember in just to pause, in maths class when I was like 14, there was a stat where it was like what is it? I have to think how to word it, because it's like when you word stats in certain ways, it sounds ridiculous.
Finds the kill, but there's the backstab. A 3K for YZ, 1 HP. No
It was something
problem,
like
tied up
in
8
World
to
War
8.
One. Let's say that like 100,000 people got head injuries from the helmets they're wearing. Whereas in World War II, the helmets were better, but there was 150,000, say, injuries, head injuries from the helmet. And you're like, well, how can that happen? And the answer is because in World War I, there was less head injuries because the person would just literally die. Like, they were just straight dead. Whereas in World War II, less people died, but there was more head injuries, if that makes sense.
This is a player, folks. When I talk to people in Pacific teams, Chinese teams quite a bit,
which, like, when I was like 14 years old, I was like, shit, like, wow, you can really just like word stuff in a way that like really fucks with you a little bit.
We hate him. We hate him.
Well, that's gonna be
in World War II, they were regen shields, but in World War I, they're half shields. I like that.
Get everybody focused in and prepared for this.
Chat, you're being funnier today. You get some bangers. Like, I'd be quite honest, like, I think that Sideshow's chat is quite funny. Like, I think Sideshow's chat is the funniest chat of any community. I think we need to, I think we're up in our game today. But if we get to Sideshow chat levels, then I'll be very happy.
Tougher to do that because you kind of just know, like, as BLG, you see those smokes and you're like, okay, they're there or they're not. We can either push it or we can just go in a different direction. So take
different in toward here from DL. Billy.
Huh? What's he doing?
Completely opened up here from DL. Billy ready to fight.
Was he?
YZ. Little minor
Oh, it's a fake? Okay, they're just faking.
Spotted. 0 point will tag on to 2.
There's 0 point, like, so because the updraft happened, like, Team Liquid think that people have already got past this knife, and so the knife only gets 2. Ironically, the 2 that they think that they probably not got are already going A.
So now Billy get ready to strike the A site.
So Team Liquid,
like Team Liquid is maybe anticipating that somebody
BLG kind of get panicked though, and are like, I think because the knife hit 2 people and not a lot of people, it looks like they're panicking a little bit and being like, okay, well, we need to really
looking for a
sell
play
this
to
B
shut
long a
that
bit more,
down.
so they drone it out.
As he tries
I think if they thought this through, BLG didn't have to drone here, but I get it. They're
in towards
covering
two,
their
maybe they
bases
were
here.
looking for a play to shut
They
that
really
down.
want to go A, but they
As he
want
tries
to
to make
fake
his way
B.
up there.
So this drone is just
Never came to
adding pressure.
fruition as BLG was fully
Recon adding
looking to
pressure.
fight it.
I think this Recon's bait, honestly. I think a really good team's looking at this Recon thinking, why the fuck did they make all this noise? And then wait, and then drone, and then Recon. Doesn't make sense. There's no... Like, everything in Valorant's like you're telling like this story in the round. And like this story doesn't make sense. I don't buy it.
Trying to fake the exec a bit, but Liquid
I don't think
quite
Boaster's
fighting
buying
hard to
this
turn the
story.
sights over towards
He'd be
mid.
like, this is
He'll
fake.
be in good position, trying to get a bit of a flood retake going here potentially.
Sideshow's chat are giga horny though.
Definitely going to be the wiser option. And I think suits this
Yeah, but I've seen that man wearing
Peek up
melting
now.
butter on his
Back to
head.
screens.
Like his chat might just be
Dangerous movements here from the Jet, but
weird
one
horny.
punish, the spike now gets planted. So hanging back, 3 players going to be remaining here on the site.
Boaster
Trying to
fanboy.
defend this. Not
Um,
much as far as post-plant util is going to be concerned here. As
I mean, I'm a fan of
Top
Boaster's
Gun's gonna
brain.
find one camo, good for a kill onto YZ, but the wheels are certainly coming off as Neff gets himself a 3K. Potential for the 4th. Penny says no, fights back. Finds 2, but needs to get 4. K-Knight noise.
Smoke
gonna
the
be made there
spike.
on the rope as he gets the tap. He's swinging around the back of sight though. Knows that this Omen is going to
His
be low
recent
on
YouTube
HP.
videos wild.
Shock darts at the ready. Penny, a bit of damage.
Oh, thank you,
in,
Damon.
swings out,
Thank you
but
very
Lydia
much.
stands tall. Billy now back in the lead, 9-8.
BBL Damon.
Yeah, this is starting to look a little bit.
This Team Liquid
dire
comp makes me
for
sick
Team
to my
Liquid.
stomach.
Seems like even now playing for
Yes.
retake, of course, that reckoning
It's
makes it
terrible.
more difficult, but
It
Neff
is dog
position,
shit.
Never able to be cleared.
It's like,
Finds really nice
okay,
shots
like
on
for
those
context,
pieces.
like,
Really
okay,
clean.
the way I'd frame it is that like I was saying earlier, like there's like comps that I like, right? The mini comps, and then there's like comps that like PaperX play because they make sense for PaperX. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll let you have it. This is like, we don't have Nats, right? We don't have Nats, or practice, right? So what would make sense in a situation where we don't have Nats or practice, and they've gone for this? And even in this context, I hate what they're running. Like, obviously, I would never run nonsense for myself. Like, I don't want to run nonsense. But, like, in this context, like, what should we be running? I guess that's the question. What should they be running? Why is VLR taking fucking ages to load? So we want a Viper and a Killjoy, really, don't we? Like, we want a Viper and a Killjoy. Who plays Viper Killjoy? Serial. Who plays Viper? Can we just teach Kiko Viper? Or Patty? Then we want a composition that can just win from fragging. This is the problem. Because you kind of do need server, and it's rough, really. Because you do still want your server in here. Maybe you just do what fucking... Maybe you just do what PaperX do, and just do this. But then the problem is you can't do this. They are kind of fucked role-wise, I'm not going to lie. Because Camo's on Jet, right? Like, in this kind of situation a lot of the time. And then they can't... Kiko doesn't play server. Kiko would have to play Viper, and then Patty would have to play server, right? Like, it isn't comfortable. I wouldn't put Penny on Sage. Unless, like, he's got experience playing Sage. Jet Rayner. Ooh, Jet Rayner. Actually, I'm down. I'm down. Camo Penny? Yeah, this is what I'd do, I think. I think I'd do this, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually do this. Kiko on Reyna? But so Penny has to play Sova? I love Sage. I think Sage is OP on this map. But we're trying to create a comp that makes sense for Team Liquid in the context they're in. And I think that Reyna is the shout. Like, Penny's just going to be thinking it's 2021 again. NA 2021.
To make sure he's cleaning it out.
I think Reyna's stats on this map are actually a joke as well. I think they're actually pretty good. It's probably noobs winning, but...
The wind back underneath Billy's sails.
How about Phoenix and a Reyna? Get out. Reyna's a little bit underrated on this map, I feel like.
YZ, similar play behind this cascade, round after round. This time he's going to try to tuck into the corner.
There's a chance I would argue that Reyna's better than KO on this map. I think Reyna might be better than KO.
Change up. There's the drop down, the push coming through. YZ getting a little bit of frazzle, but eventually he's able to stabilize the aim.
The kind of team that wants to run a Reyna is going to have much more success running Reyna than KO. The kind of team that should be running KO shouldn't be running KO, if that makes sense.
Still cycling these smokes in. Remaining useful from beyond the grave, but yeah, as you say, Serial tucked in here.
I don't think Reyna's better than Jet.
Here's the footsteps. Turn, however, gives away the position, just clears that out. It's ready to turn back in towards this B site.
Standing ahead.
Yeah, just Penny over there right now towards B.
Yeah, I don't think that Reyna's better than Jet. Jet allows the operator play. It allows you to get more aggressive than even Reyna can.
Seems like widely they're fully dissuaded.
And verticality.
Don't really have any real control here. They're gonna have to wait.
I like this though, chat. We've solved Team Liquid's Icebox problem.
Closer.
Spike planted.
Go up and over the top. Gonna be looking for that peak there. Serial gonna be taken down though. K9 finding one. A little bit of damage out. BLG superior weaponry. Line up their shots. Just the one casualty. As they now get up to double digits.
Yeah, this is a really nice hold from BLG in the post plant. Had to wait things out a little bit longer than they would have liked, but they got a lot of that utility.
I think Penny is
Penny throws a paranoia. They try to push off the back of that, but again, oh my God.
I think Penny was a good pick. I'm not gonna lie. It's just that they should have, like, their Haven comp, they got Penny on Phoenix. They just needed to do that more, right? Just put Penny as second duelist on a lot of maps.
That's been a hallmark of this BLG team this year. They are a very fundamentally sound team. Foundations are strong for BLG, but they've got to find another level. They want to start getting deeper into events.
Change up though. Rough draft top tube play here for the side of BLG, trying to catch somebody off guard. Serial does manage to slide away and keep himself safe.
Cool little play. So the wall used for the Jet to dash. And then kind of seen escaping, I believe. And so they won't expect this Viper in this corner.
Well, Neff, he's actually gotten underneath Boiler.
But they are reclearing it. So.
Dead. Attack does find the timing.
Middle's just shit, man. Fuck middle.
No longer a concern here
If you're gonna use middle, you gotta be Pac-Man.
Now,
can't be using middle like this. The only reason to use middle like the way they just did is to break turret on here. Like to dive here, break turret, and then escape. But there's no turret, so who cares?
Why is he able to collect one? Drops down. He's point blank alongside this one. He's still finding more. Penny taken down. Levius in range.
I had YZ on my list, right? Top 15.
And the cleanup is
Who is the best player?
Like a madman.
Like right now, I put Icebox as #1 for this tournament.
Billy now a massive win streak here on the attacking side, 2 rounds away from taking this.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch YZ play because he knows that the rest of his team.
Mattia, what's up? You at him in? What's up?
And he can be creative. He can open up some opportunities that you normally wouldn't expect with a team that plays structured like they do. And they're starting to get pumped. Rushi is in it too.
I
can't remember who I got. I think I have MIBR on my pick'ems.
Liquid trying to change the tempo here a bit. Second timeout call. Try to right the ship 3 rounds. It is recoverable. They're gonna have a buy coming through. Still a bit rough around the edges though.
To this map.
Icebox has never been number one.
Like you would on the attacker side with this comp, it's harder to find the value out of those. Kind of wait for.
I mean, there was a round that they kind of showed Team Liquid, and Patty was doing the early round call on Sunset. Maybe we'll get to it at a certain point.
Cleaning up kills. And it helps now that
I think it was a joint effort, it seemed like.
Kills on the map right now. Rushi as well having a whale of a time, 19.
I mean, he went from being the hard carry to now, you know, joining it. Haditech, can he hit somebody with a 0 point? If not, okay, we don't know anything else.
Right, or the Gecko maybe gives you a little bit, but
yeah.
it's hard.
What is the play call for now? A 1-2-2 fan out from Team Liquid. Pete coming in, Camo. Well,
yeah, they read that really well.
I don't love how aggressive Kiko's playing with Hybrid, to be honest with you.
This is one of the first rounds that we haven't seen that early.
It's a nice little play if he didn't have ult. I don't love it with the ult.
Push from YZ. Shuts it right down.
The strat calls. Shoot YZ in the head. Camo sticking to the plot. Smoke can be cycled out here as BLG interest on this B site, but it's heavily stacked now.
Let's see how Team Liquid deal with this, because yesterday we saw Paper X. They would just like run through this together on a timing, and I don't know if that is the best way to play this situation.
Try to clear out this closed corner, but it seems like
let's see how Team Liquid deal with it.
Enjoying what they're seeing here, so we'll pivot back across. They don't even have Levius enough.
What do they do now? Like, what do? They don't have a recon or drones like figure out what's going on. Like, they lose this, they lose this. Now what? Like, how do they know where to move on the map? They got nothing. They can knife maybe, but knife's not going to be enough, I don't think. Like, where do they knife? Like this guy, like this is, I would argue this is kind of poor macro maybe. But then even if he knifed B right now, it would be just broken.
Very forward position at A at all.
That's okay. I mean, this is going to be interesting.
Hello, Coach Mini. Can you work on improving your SEO on YouTube? I can only find your channel with Coach Mini, not even Coach Space Mini. I'll be honest with you. I think my YouTube channel is just not big enough for that to happen yet. So I apologize.
Tons of noise being made. Not gonna be.
Like, I'm sorry that I'm not a big enough presence on YouTube.
Gonna be going through.
When I start uploading videos and actually, you know, becoming bigger online presence, then I don't know what you want me to do. I don't think I can like fool the algorithm. Like, I think it's just getting more popular.
Team Liquid now fighting back. That gap down to just 2 rounds.
10 seconds left.
K-Knight seems like he wants to get his ultimate online no matter what. It will be in death.
It's kind of one of these rounds for BLG where they start
The problem is that Coach and Mini are like popular words too, so it's not much I can do. I should have chosen a better name, I guess.
You're looking for that weak side, and you're trying to exploit the defenses of your opponent. Defenses of your opponent.
I can't see. I couldn't see. Was that
That is excellent.
That's an excellent cosplay, sir.
was that paper thin? Was that supposed to be paper thin and thingy?
It's close, we're getting there.
He very much looks like Sideshow.
Oh no, it's Sideshow brand.
I like that he's got a picture of Wyatt as well. He's got a picture.
That's what I mean by the Sideshow people, man. They're all funny, man. That's the funny shit.
As well.
That's so funny.
You guys have been awesome. I mean, it's great to see the turnout already just here on day one. We're here for a couple weeks. It's going to be a hell of a tournament. You guys have
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that is what we like to hear. We'll see, though. That's how much more of this Icebox
You missed the Wyatt bit? What's the Wyatt bit?
2 rounds away here. Hard Billy. And if you want to ride Gun Buddy, make sure you get in the mid-spam DMs.
Yep. He's got the hookup. He's got plenty. He's got plenty to go around.
What content do I want to do on YouTube? There's a lot of content that I want to. The issue is that I can't be bothered to edit videos because I've got too much. I don't have enough time to edit videos. So I'm trying to figure out ways in which I could get someone to either help or I could just do very, very basic editing down of like longer videos or do one-shot takes of just like concepts that I want to talk about.
So I think actually this is kind of one of those weird rounds for BLG where you can't lean too heavily into that ult. You can't care about it too much. It's nice if you can get it there. You don't want to invest a lot of resources inside of it. So you've got to expect the thrash and other things are coming. Here goes YZ.
Another attempt here. As Mosh landing right there top of tube, and he's
Like,
down to the open, and Penny across
so like
the
I
line on the
could
B
do,
side,
for
he's able to
instance,
get the kill. Another solid shutdown
there's some
here.
historical stuff that would be interesting to do.
Just not spotting him.
Like recently on Reddit, for instance, like I've on stream I've said a bunch of different ideas of like things that I would want to do, but like even recently, like there was a graph that was like it was like each year, right? With the best game of the year, best player, team, match, a map, right? And like I could, like if there was a replay system, I could literally go, how did these 3 players play, or 4 players play, or 5 players play? I could go into each team, how did they play? I could watch the match, I could break it down. But like the one that was interesting to me was me and Stig were kind of having a discussion about the 2022 one, where Optic got 99% of the votes, or 95% of the votes, and then Loud got like 5% of the votes. And we were like, I thought it was like way more contested between those two teams than literally, like I think Sliggy even thinks that Loud is a better team than Optic for that year. And I was like 50-50 about it. I don't really know. And so like that was interesting, that there's like maybe something there. And then it was also about the idea of like, could we maybe go back and like really tell the story about why Optic were as good as they were, but also why they then struggled in the times that they didn't have Ye or a Chamber. Like, I then asked myself the question, like, how much of their greatness was because of Ye, and how much of their greatness was because they're setting up Ye? Because the narrative seems to go that, like, Ye was obviously a big pivotal point for them, but there was also, like, you know, people like, the analysts would be like, oh, yeah, but they're setting him up well. And then I want to answer that myself. Like, as someone who knows the game probably more than what the analysts at the time were, like, going on about, like, or saying, or kind of setting up. Like, I want to kind of dig on that kind of concept. And, like, that's, like, just one idea, I guess. Like, I could just pick any of these historically and, like, go through them. And obviously, a lot of my ideas aren't historical either. It's, like, current.
We've seen YZ try to get up on that too.
That was something recently I was thinking about.
For Team Liquid when he
because, like,
back into that well.
I do think that there are times which we overrate or underrate certain aspects of teams.
On the back end, reckoning sent as well. Everything in the
Like, if I genuinely came out the other side thinking that, like, Optic was overrated for certain things, like, it would be kind of banging content, right? Like, I wouldn't set it up in a way that I would lie to myself about it, though. Like, I genuinely sit there and watch it and be like, I wonder, like, how good this team was at doing certain things, you know?
Out wide, gets the tag.
Do you think that it's the pro? Do you think that is the pro that do crazy smart plays or setups, or they just do that to just teach them? It depends what team.
Just beautiful stuff from Team Liquid.
It depends what team.
Again, so many ults there that are so impactful. The not dead yet.
Like the narrative that T1 won out of nowhere, the signs were there from qualifiers. I do think that T1 won out of nowhere. I don't think the signs were there at all, to be honest with you. Like, there were signs that they were crap, but I don't think that they should have won.
So difficult.
That's one video too. How G2 threw that final. Like, I don't think that final should ever have gone the way of T1. Specifically that pro map, there are rounds that no one speaks about where I'm like, my god, they fucking entered. Like I know that there was those rounds. You remember when Stax won that 2v1 on B long, where he like spams him through the corner of the plant, like he's behind the pillar, right? And he kills one and then kills another one. And then people are going to remember that round. It's like, oh my god, Stax, like how, like 0.01 seconds, like he wins or whatever. Watch the first 45 seconds, 50 seconds of that round, or like minute of that round before it even gets to this point, and it's egregiously bad what G2 did. Like, it's like stuff that they wouldn't usually do.
Gets the spot.
There was like 2 or 3 rounds at the end of their defense where they were on fire on their defense, just doing normal stuff, and then the last 2 or 3 rounds they just decided to do some really weird rotations that make no sense for how
Not
G2
happy
usually
about
play.
that one. That was a lot invested without the result you wanted, and now Team Liquid is in reaching distance, 1 round away from BLG to tie things up.
BLG very quickly wanted to try to get the take here on the site, and this time YZ not going to be taken down.
It wasn't Valen. It was defense. To throw someone under the bus, I'm not going to say it out loud right now because I will go and watch the game and tell you who it was. But like, it was not Valen. Like, unless it looked more like a team decision, but more from an individual. I'd be very surprised if Valen was calling for those rotations.
Finds the kill, Penny.
It wasn't Leaf.
Does fall down as Levius.
It's Leaf. How do you know it was Leaf? It wasn't Leaf. Leaf was sold. Leaf was sold. Leaf was being sold in these rounds. He didn't have a great game. There are reasons, you know, he tweeted afterwards that there were some very fucking valid reasons for him not having the best performance, but he was sold on that defense. He definitely wasn't aggressive enough. Like they chose to play way too passive. But in the passive setups, he was then sold to try and hold B site by himself, which isn't possible. But we can go through that on a YouTube video one day.
Not spotting him out, and that means YZ is able to collect the kill onto Camo. 1 round away from taking Icebox.
It's just so important.
What Fnatic could have done to win Masters Reykjavik? Should have signed Cloud. I mean, it's very easy to hindsight that.
Lockdown. Do you have an operator for Camo and a couple Guardians?
I think that I have some regret with that tournament of like.
Pretty much at all in this map. Go for it. Hits the shot.
I almost felt like the Sentinels were the better team that tournament, and like it would be very difficult for us to beat them. And then I watched their VODs and I was like, wait, they're kind of terrible. Like, I remember watching their VODs being like, they're kind of shit. It's just that like they've got more experience, and like the stuff they're doing is still gonna maybe beat us because like their experience in the mid rounds and stuff. But their openers and they didn't have strats really. They didn't really have the best openers. So I think I should have had a better mindset that tournament to like.
Been keeping complete track, but
It was. I think I had a good mindset for us dealing with the first loss against them, but not the best mindset for going into the finals trying to win. So I think that maybe that might have had an impact.
Still though, BLG do get themselves a line share of the site for free. Looking for a timing shot there, but unable to find it. K will expire. Spike now planted the Thrash. Going to be sent forward here. Trying to get the catch and does manage to detain one, but not sure if they're going to be able to spill forward.
Okay, yeah, we can stop talking about the finals. Like that final, like I can go through it one day and explain my thoughts because it's that pro map specifically. I want to break it down one day and just be like, both of them were playing pretty well, but there were just some very, very strange decisions being made at the end of the game. Sorry, Team Liquid started boring me because they just
have not been able to close them out. That's helping that econ rating.
like
See a little bit more of that.
paper thin the econ rating reference. Can anyone sincerely can anyone in chat tell me what econ rating means? Like, what does 100 econ rating mean? What does one econ rating represent? Like, does anyone know what like it actually represents?
Going through as well. Tuck back, they're able to avoid
Damage dealt per credit spent. Ah.
Retake still just that operator in hand. The push forward. They're not reading K9's position, and they're not calming it either.
Damage per credit spent. It's a very bad stat, right? Because what if you drop someone a gun? What happens if you drop a gun? Yeah, okay. I'll be honest with you, like, I have given that feedback that, like, I was like, I don't... Like, because it's a sponsored segment thing, I think that some people think that like it means less, like, oh, it's just a sponsor segment thing, so it's just they're just trying to do something. And I'm like, doesn't it matter more because it's a sponsor segment thing? It's almost like, you know, we're basically like just trying out. They're just trying to like just do something. Eco stats. Yeah, what could they have done for that Coinbase like sponsored like little thing? They could have done like eco anti-eco. No, it's Coinbase, so it has to be related to economy, doesn't it? Timeouts are no. Anyway, I'm not gonna flame too hard. I'd like to keep my job. Right, next map. So comp diff, comp diff map 1, Haven. Patty take 1 -7. Maybe we don't put Patty on server. maybe we don't put Patty on server on Icebox. Okay, maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. What do you suggest for a team playing against heavy defaulting teams? I mean, you play the game normally. There's a better answer for playing against teams that don't heavy default. Against teams that don't heavy default, you get information on one side of the map, and then you overstack the other side of the map where they're making most of their noise, and then you make sure that you kind of insert like the weak side if you can. Or what would have been the strong side initially. Against teams that just heavy default, like you want to tax their util as much as you can, and then at a certain timing in the round, because you're likely to lose map control, around 50 seconds or a minute, you need to like re-clear some space, and then where you re-clear that space, you probably want to, you're either going to run into some people or you're not. If you don't, then you can presume that they're going the other side of the map. And then you need to decide whether you continue to push out with that re-clear or to leave a player there and rotate. That's generally how Valorant goes in my head. I mean, you obviously need to look at their defaults and figure out if they're even good defaults and how to exploit those defaults specifically. Like, I can't give you like an over like simplification.
What happens. Toronto, are you ready?
Toronto, are you ready? Killjoy. Remember Killjoy, guys. Remember what I said last time about Killjoy. Killjoy can no longer do the cool turret here that sees here and here. The turret has to be placed in a way that can be very easily broken. So like this is the old cool turret. Nowadays it has to be placed in a way that's like broken, because like the field of view is not as good. And so people can just spam it through the doors now. So what people usually do is put the turret in places like this or this on C. So against Killjoy, I think one of my protocols would be to have someone at the start of every round probably trying to break the turret. I don't think that Killjoy should be able to get away with it. Oh, literally. Is that lucky?
This is going to be
that feels lucky.
YZ plays the Neon on Lotus a lot, taking first contact. It's a little bit of damage.
Feels lucky to me.
Is at least able to clear this.
One sec. Okay, they were playing Killjoy EWC, but there's no VODs on EWC.
This is going to be
Who smokes this on their CXAC?
quite interesting. YZ.
I don't know. Seems odd to me.
Lotus a lot, taking first contact. It's a little bit of damage, but is at least able to clear the space.
I don't know.
Exchange of some shots. They want to go ahead and re-clear this barrage position. They're able to do so, but he go out here at window. Comes up with one.
Maybe Team Liquid played Retake C a lot? There are VODs of EWC. Oh, okay. Okay.
Russia's gonna be noted, sends out a paranoia, but there's just too many bodies.
There are
in
VODs,
window.
but I'm not smart enough to find them,
Noted,
basically.
sends out a paranoia, but there's just too many bodies
Because
here in window.
VLG didn't put them up.
It's cooking them! Levius and K-Knight both burning to death. Neff is able to find Camo, but he's gonna get caught off guard. There's gonna be a pistol take here as Liquid get themselves on the board nice and early on Haven.
This is uncharacteristic to me for BL. So happy to just plant their feet hard here in garage.
So garage reclear, a nice little pistol, weird strat. But Penny did fucking farm with the molly. Generally speaking, I don't love the garage reclear push. I think it became a bit more of a meta thing against Teo Breach, is what we were discussing the other day. Which is fine, because obviously Teo Breach could just fucking nuke the site. Whereas with this kind of comp, I'd be more happy to play like a normal kind of post plant, you know, where you're just like overstacking the site a little bit. So I don't love this garage push as much. See, okay, so Killjoy, let me just check one sec. So if I was to play Killjoy on this map, I guess this is one of the setups you could run, what he's doing right now. My question just is about range. The only problem with this setup is that you are stuck to this as your rotation. Like, because you become the rotator if you're going to be playing Garage, right? So you are stuck here. So you're never going to be able to, like, flood A that well. But you can risk it sometimes, I guess. If you're, like, really confident, you risk it, maybe. So yeah, I'm going to keep track of that a little bit. Like, how does Team Liquid deal with being Killjoy on defense?
Fair amount of damage going to be pushed forward there onto Neff. Quick clear on the cam. Just confirming, yes, he is in fact still in the sewer.
The Phoenix is like the Phoenix. They don't have the best aiming control, but they have. I feel like the Phoenix should just be different places on the map. The Neon could be different places on the map. They just need to gamble more on their defense, I guess. Team Liquid do. Maybe go for these orbs a bit more with the Phoenix.
One bomb at the ready.
If they play a very standard defensive Haven, I don't think they would do very well because their composition
Kiko gets rid of YZ. Now just Neff and Levius.
Isn't
Sheriff at a
the
classic. Try to see if
best.
they can get a bit more damage through.
Well, Levius might get the read that A is open, although Patty Tech kind of angling in that direction.
But how do you even safely try?
I
to get
think
Neff
Cypher
over to
is just better, yeah.
Gonna have to fight his way out. Finds a headshot. They're on to one. Now knows Penny's position, but Kiko will just peek in. That's a spike now dropped. Levius.
So if I say that there is a better Sentinel than Killjoy in every map apart from Icebox.
Looks a hell of a lot better.
I think on Lotus, I
2 players alive.
prefer Killjoy, I think.
Upgraded for Levius.
think.
65 HP.
Over Cypher for sure.
A little bit more dealt with. No, he cannot. Penny snaps
I think
the
Fights is
headshot.
maybe slightly
Spares them
underrated.
Many more losses, but that's still 3 weapons gone.
Yeah, really like the early layering here by Team Liquid with Serial.
Cypher is not OP on
Trying to play off
Lotus.
some of that KJ utility, gets overwhelmed, but then you've got the outlaw in Kiko's hand
Cypher is not OP on
to
Lotus.
lock down that extra angle.
Cypher is very
Really
overrated on
difficult
Lotus
to
in my
feel, even
opinion.
they fight back. They get some big kills. And that's just the Phantom and the Outlaw carried over. A couple ghosts and a Sheriff for Camo.
Because I'm
Otherwise,
presuming that you're
it's
playing a
Phantoms
Viper.
and- yeah, all
Because
Phantoms.
Viper is the best
Lucia
agent on
thinking
that
about
map.
it. Okay, goes for the Vandal, but style choice.
Okay,
there.
okay.
YZ with
Me and my cam doing wonders on Lotus. Okay. If we're talking about your game, it's fine. If we're talking top 4 global event, like if I was playing against a Killjoy, I'd be much more scared than playing against a Cypher. If you're talking about your kind of like premier level or tier 3, tier 2 level, like Cypher cam is very useful.
Vandal as well.
A little bit odd.
There is an ease of use when it comes to Cypher.
He's getting cooked again. Same 2 players.
I don't think you are
Not
top
gonna
4
be
at a global
taken down.
event.
That
No,
is so
Mucky.
much damage dealt off the rip is
I've not
the
heard of your global event power yet. No.
Comboing the util there for Liquid. And they set Kiko up here with the drone.
Oh.
Shots flying. Kiko eating quite a bit of damage.
So
there.
trap setup again. So we've seen Team Liquid trap setup number 1 was Phoenix here, ready to flash. Trap setup 2, Neon watching sewers, ready to flash and face from Phoenix.
Change down to 14.
So just playing the Phoenix
Still is
cheeky
alive, though.
little flash subs.
K-Knight spotting out on a serial. He's just going to rotate back around the back site at C.
But you can see BLG there. Not liking that info's been given over. Kind of leaned in the C site direction.
BLG are not very good at throwing fakes. Like this is a terrible fake, honestly. Like who walks up, shoots a turret, smokes here, and like actually it's not their smoke, is it? It's defense smoke.
Around the back site at C.
But you can see BLG there.
I guess they did make pressure garage though, so the fake isn't that bad. Like there is a smoke here, there is pressure garage. It's just this next bit always feels a bit wrong.
Not liking that.
Like I'd wait just a little bit longer for this recon to come in, because now what? Like let's say it gets broken.
Still making some noise.
There's like this weird time delay between this and then this. See, like it's a little bit obvious. BLG's fakes need a little bit of work. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You think with Nats back, Liquid make it out of groups? It's still going to be hard
30 seconds
because they probably disrupted their practice completely. Like Liquid are a structure team that rely on their like structure, and their structure has been kind of broken for a little bit.
Any amount of damage, come away with the kill.
Do you think the turret on long is better? I don't think the turret they just did is valuable at all. Honestly, don't think it's very good. If you're going to use this turret, you might as well just use this turret here. And at least you get a bit more information. I think.
Clear the spot out. Hey, not able to find one. Levius gets himself a third, and there's the fourth. The recon, quick clear the spot out. Sorry, trade ahead and get out. Camp dead is Penny, holds his swinging in from the top of the ramp, is able to find that elimination.
So Levius did well.
Dead is Penny, holds his ground for another
3v2 loss.
2 players now.
I mean, they got crap guns and low HP.
30 seconds
Very doable. 4-team Liquid.
Did you notice any major change in performance when your players grinded ranked? Okay, so like the thing I'd say in general is that I once presented stats to my players about like rank stats and like how players who play a lot of ranked are generally better at global events. But there's like two ways you could interpret that, right? It's like either playing ranked means that like you are better, you're going to be better at the game. Or if you're simply motivated enough about Valorant, you're probably going to end up playing ranked, and therefore you're better at the game because you're motivated. So like I wasn't sure how to read it, you know what I mean? Like is it just like people who play ranked are just motivated to play Valorant and are just in a good mood? Or are people who play lots of ranked actually getting better at the game? I would argue that it's a bit of both. I think that I think players who don't play ranked are probably inting. Like Zaiwu is like a special example of like someone who's just so like beyond skill that like for some reason he doesn't need to grind in the same way that other people do. I'm an LCS coach. It's a big play. It's a big play right now that a lot of LCS players aren't challengers. Rank matters. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that in League of Legends it matters more than Valorant. Like, if you're not playing ranked in League of Legends, I think it matters more. And I'm sorry, like to be, like, I have this biased perspective that I think that Valorant's more complicated than League of Legends, and most of League of Legends, the value comes from your individual skill and understanding matchups and lanes. I think that like more of Valorant is macro, I would say, and more of League is micro. And I think that if you're not playing for micro and League, you've lost your mind. I still think the micro is really important in Valorant, and I think that people who don't play ranked are probably dumb. I think it's one of the reasons why Paper Rex have so much good, like they're world class at some of the micro stuff, and I think it comes from them grinding ranked together, honestly, like and like playing with each other for years like that.
Any amount of damage, come away with the kill.
League is 70% macro. Is it?
Patiently sets up the recon, quick clear, the spot out. You
spend most of your time in the laning phase. you spend most of your time in the laning phase, and like I've watched enough analytical League streamers who I've watched enough of Fnatic play League of Legends to know that like what I'm trying to say is that like Fnatic League of Legends, when I watch them, would just make really bad decisions about when to take Drakes or not. And I'm like, if their biggest decision and fault is literally like we didn't take the Drake at a right time, or we fumbled around Baron, like decisions in Valorant, like my team would be making like 10 of those decisions around. You know what I mean? Not like that's my argument. Like I don't know League well enough to probably make that argument, but like you know.
BLG scraped by with a round win. But it is not comfortable at all.
Like it's well like the narrative that I know from some people is that like the Koreans shit on people, or historically shit on people. They did have better macro, but they also played mostly micro agents. Like the Lucian Nami stuff wasn't like particularly macro intensive. It was like just a micro lane, right? And they would just shit on you in lane.
Almost completely shut down their round. Penny had a really good read.
No, you're not sidetracking me. I'm genuinely interested because I'm an asshole.
Oh, getting tucked here at Cubby. Triple stack on this C site. BLG still sticking around as the drone's gonna
I wonder what Anders would say, because Anders is very obviously Anders is going to be biased towards Valorant, but he has also he did like collegiate stuff for League of Legends. So I wonder what he would say. Because he's a bit more experienced with that than I am. I think he'd break it down quite nicely.
Shut down Camo, trying to push out the doors.
Hell of a shot there from Nev.
I guess counter argument would be T11 Bangkok playing double duelist is probably a fair counter argument. Or PaperX are just shitting on people right now playing like PaperX style.
From K-Knight, just trying to keep interest on this side of the map, but the rest of Billy ready to push forward, but Wisey in a great position to get the jump there. Headshot does connect, and Penny he's up on the floor. Paranoia, dodge, Serial trying to hold down the site. Camo getting here at Cubby.
See long trap from Team Liquid. Like I said, like Team Liquid doesn't have to play a lot of gambles with this comp. They can't control A main that consistently. They don't have a comp that allows them to like trap properly. Like they have to use their Phoenix, so it's just going to be gambles a lot of the time. Penny took his ult and is rotating off, so now he can flood between the two. Wonder what they decide to do now. Like Team Liquid, like it's weird. Like, are they gonna drone in the middle and just free fight?
For now, rotation, and it's shut down Camo, trying to push out the doors.
Hell of a shot there from Nev.
I think they're a little bit desperate here. I think when you have this line, there's no desperation to do anything. And I feel like Team Liquid are trying to play what is like a proactive game, but like who cares? Like we have this line. We could just sit 4 people between the space and we're fine, right? As soon as this line gets broken or it feels like we need to do something, then maybe we should drone out and push out and get some stuff going. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hindsighting.
Now, rotation, and it's shut down Camo, trying to push out the doors.
Hell of a shot there from Nev. Not sure if Kiko had been scouted, but now he certainly will be. The neural depth getting the ping reveal. He's spot out.
I think how I describe it, guys, is that I don't think there are many people who understand good macro in Valorant. And I don't think that Twitch chat is a good judge for it. I wish I could be more of an asshole to explain like some of this stuff and like just be really brutal. But it's almost like I called it in the off season that BBL had good macro, and look at how good they are in EMEA for what we expected. Like good macro just wins games, man. Like good macro just wins.
It's once again just a bit of a delay here from K-Knight, just trying to keep interest on this side of the map. But
like most teams don't play maps right. Most teams do not play maps correctly. Most teams do not have good map understandings or map theory. Like there's a meta popular way to play maps, and most of the time it's wrong. Some of the maps is not bad. For instance, like Ascent is a map that I never, like Fnatic were never amazing at, because I didn't know what I didn't 100% know what the best way to play it was. I know the meta ways of playing it, but the meta ways of playing it aren't the best ever. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this map's not egregious. Like, Haven generally is not egregious, but there's very few teams who actually push the limits of Haven.
Shot does connect, and Penny he's up on the floor. Paranoia, dodge, serial.
With these compositions too, like, I mean, obviously with this comp is hard to play like a perfect macro star. Like, this comp is, I know what the meta is for this, you know what I mean?
K-Knight now starting to make his way around here. His very long, deep lurk.
Why don't people make content on the most correct map theory versus meta? Because there's only a handful of people in the world who can. Like, Anders would be number one, and like there might be a bunch of people who don't, like, there's just very few people who know. If you know it, then you're a top 3 team in the world. Like, you're a top 3 team in the world for the next 3 years. Like, that's how it works. Like, there are people that know it, and there's just most people don't. Like, I think I am world class on a few maps. I am good at a few maps, and then I'm just like mediocre on a few maps, if that makes sense. A lot of teams, I guess that's about my approach too, is that like I trust macro more than other things. Some coaches prefer to just play, like, they don't think about perfect macro, they don't think it exists, they just like play like, how do I explain it? Like they play less to map theory and more to just, these agents will work good at shutting down this part of the map, and then we can, you know, we're going to be really good with, you know what I mean? Like, whereas like they don't go too much deeper than that, if that makes sense. Boast was macro. Lotus world class mini. My Lotus isn't I think my Lotus fell off a little bit, and then it's back to probably being okay. Anders was the one who taught us how to play Lotus though, so I can't really like take credit for it.
Not connecting.
Would you consider PRX Sunset last year as good macro? They had some very good macro ideas. The thing with PaperX is that I made the joke to Alex that I'm excited to watch them play scrims on Sunset, because they'll teach me how to play Sunset. And Alex made the joke that, like, I don't think it's going to be as cerebral as you think. And I was like, we were kind of joking, but like, I know that I think there's sometimes they do stuff that's really good, and sometimes they don't realize that it's good, if that makes sense. But the stuff that they're doing on Sunset is very good. But eventually, PaperX, I feel like they find things that works for them, and those things that work for them are often good, if that makes sense. They don't go to a map thinking about the map theory as much, but they have things that they want to try and do, and over time they'll find the things that work, if that, you know.
Seeing the jump, but not able to come away with the kill.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be conscious of, like, I think that's the difference with Anders' approach. Is Anders is able to abstract strategic theory isolated away from experience. I think I do best with a bit of both, where like I have a bit of an understanding of what I think I want from a map, and then a bit of experience on the map. Whereas Anders is pretty good at just isolating it all without even seeing matches being played or practicing it.
Can't really scale forward. Still just too many angles.
What was the primary driver for Heretics' loss? A complete lack of confidence, and PaperX just sending it.
They're gonna tie it 2-2. Yeah, love the way that they're spreading the map here as BLG, making some noise. around
you
the
would you
backside.
agree
Now,
that macro
Wade's
heavily
on
evolves
ammo,
around
and
personal
Neff is
skill?
very ready for it.
No.
Neff is one of these players who really likes to hold some tight
No.
angles for his team to find those opening kills. He's a really, really heady player. Knows where to be.
You're an honest person, but do you think talking about paperwork during the tournament on stream is a bit much? Have I said anything that even comes close to revealing anything about paperworks? Like, I'm not saying anything that, bro. I know how coaches think. I know how coaches think, and I know what information I would withhold and know would be useful. I've not said anything that any coach would find any value in it whatsoever. I even asked Alex because there were some. I was getting clip farmed a lot talking about paperwork sometimes, and I directly asked Alex like, you know, I'm sorry if I ended up saying too much. Just let me know if like I'm saying too much. And Alex just laughed and was like, it's just what happens when you're on paperworks. It's just that people just want everything you say becomes like content. You know what I mean?
Maybe just invest it off the rip here out the door. We'll see.
Like I'm very aware. You know, I'm not stupid.
Now just an exchange in the darts. Cleared out. Patty Tech very much disconnected back onto the site.
Reto, what's your thoughts on Boo and Mini Boo? Mini Boo has confidence issues that seem to either make him into prime simple or just like an average duelist, and he needs to overcome those confidence issues. For Boo, I don't know. I think that Boo, to me, I can't speak about it because I don't know anything about his leading or IGLing. I do think that there has been a trend historically where when we do see Boo's leadership in action, he sometimes seems angry and a little bit stern in a fairly unhealthy way at times. And I know it's easy for me to say this now because they lost yesterday, and it seems like I'm shit talking. But there was a moment once where like Boo was getting a bit pissed off, and then the coaches had to kind of. It was during a timeout, and the coaches were like, "No, whoa, like wait." And so to me, if that's the only evidence I have to work with, the implication from that is that the environment probably isn't as positive in those stressful moments as it should be. And again, it's impossible to say from the outside, but just from those little bits of evidence, I would say that the team has some confidence issues, and the environment probably they need a bit more positivity, like sincere positivity at times. No, the TLDR isn't Boo and Mini Boo need to stop tilting. The TLDR is the team needs, as a team, they need to address the confidence issues within the team and the positive environment. Like I think Heretics at their best last year, we saw them having fun and smiling on camera. But that it's very easy to be that when you're winning. The other thing is that the context difference of last year, they had a honeymoon rookie period where they did extremely well last year, and I can't take anything away from how well they did last year. I think if anything, that last year was underrated. But it's a little bit easier in the first year of that kind of team where there's very little pressure or expectations to do what you did, and just come into it for a second year and have pressure, have expectations, and have that feeling of like we kind of know what it feels like to play at the top level now. The motivation can kind of just dip just slightly, and I think all those three things are impacting them. Yeah, feels like a bit like NRG 2023. Nah, I would say Heretics are in a better spot than compared to, maybe. I think Heretics have got more chance of winning a trophy still. It's just that it doesn't feel like that at this very moment.
Lob on the shock dart here. Try to see if they can clear out any util in case that alarm bot might be situated out front of B. You can see though, full KJ setup there to try to hold down the C site.
Look at Camo. He's like, YZ was here earlier. Maybe it'll work for me.
Yeah, I mean, their adjustment to the tail meta wasn't very strong. their idea that Teo needed, their Teo meta read was that they needed Sky, Fade, or Sova. They thought they needed a recon agent with the Teo. I think was a blatantly wrong read. Yeah. So there could be some meta things that come into play, but
for now, Serial going to be spotted by the drone.
I would suspect they're one of the teams that will just play the standard double and the shitter stuff with some double duelist because
the very moment that they needed him.
I think that people need to give Minibu some slack here. Minibu looked like the best player in the world for the first half of stage 1 until the last 3 games. Like, Minibu was unbelievably good. Like disgusting levels of good. It was when those bigger games happened at the end of playoffs where he looked like a human again.
Does manage to get that kill. Kiko with the Vandal gets 2 nasty taps. And suddenly, Team Liquid on for this round win.
Do I think anyone played Toronto? No.
A bit fast lane to try to delay. Weapons, maybe one can be recovered. Serial reroutes and looks like he's going to do just that.
Do you think being on a big fan base team like PRX or Sen is a disadvantage or an advantage? It's a disadvantage from a competitive performance point of view, but it's an advantage in every other point of everything else is an advantage. Like,
slowly drifts back, gets himself
for your career, for your brand, it's just a massive advantage. For losing games, it's a disadvantage. Like,
completely off guard. Red Bull clutches his, as is the lead for BLG.
I love the proactivity here by YZ and Neff. You know the ult's there. You know Phoenix has it. You know he's going to be setting up outside that door. YZ says, well, I'm just going to try to go for it, see what I get out.
To buy that halfway mark is something like that are going to enable him to just very quickly build up another Rolling Thunder. He's just about at the halfway mark.
Oh my god, this guy's just slid.
Try to stun him out, but it's going to be Kiko actually. It's rounds like that are going to enable him to just very quickly build up another Rolling Thunder. He's just about at the halfway mark as there's a ping reveal out on
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Very.
How is it a competitive disadvantage? It is a competitive disadvantage to have a fan base so big, because fan bases that are that big are usually a little bit crazy at times. PaperX and Sentinels have some crazy fans, and so every time that you lose, they will go onto social media and make you feel like shit. They will say things that are awful. And you would say that, well, why would you be a player and read that stuff? And the answer is, I don't know. But people literally, players read social media for some reason, and so they see it. The other thing is that when they stream, like PaperX do a lot of streaming, right? Every time they stream, how are they supposed to moderate not seeing people in their chat just telling them their shit? Like, when they went on that run where they, like, lost a bunch of games, I'm sure that every time Jason opened his stream, he probably had some fans being mean to him, or some people just being mean to him. And it does affect you, you know what I mean? Like, you can't pretend that, like, you know, in those moments, like, these are people who are probably the most critical of themselves, out of like any people in the world, you know, like they're high performing people, so they're more likely to be self-critical. And then so when you're self-critical, you're probably having a little bit of self-doubt, and then you open up Twitch chat on stream and you've got people calling you a noob, and you're just like, well, they might be right. And it's just like it's just a very bad cycle. Why care about a random's opinion? I just explained it. Like, like, what do you mean? If for the rest of your life, I sent you a letter, an email, a DM saying that you're ugly, at a certain point you might end up like believing it on some level. Like, if I got you, if I took whatever insecurity you have in your life and literally just sent you messages every day on that insecurity, you would be affected. And the insecurity that these players have is about their performance, because that is literally the thing that they make money off of. It is the thing that, like, they're good at. And it's the thing that, again, because they are high performing, these are the people that know, like, how to get better at things. They know how to be good at things. And part of that is being self-critical. It's a lot like I think about it ranked a lot. As soon as someone in ranked starts questioning you or asking why you did something or saying anything negative, I guarantee you start playing worse. And it's just the same, like on social media, the same thing happens. It doesn't matter that it's a random, because you are literally saying something that the person probably thinks about a little bit. There's a little insecurity there. It doesn't matter if it's a random person or not, because you might think that's true.
From the side of Billy, is now there's a Hunter Spear, they're all scattering to the wind.
The real way to deal with it, I think, is to just avoid it altogether. Like in 2023, like I literally did not use Reddit, YouTube. I would post stuff on Twitter and just log out.
Penny finding Nav, Camel finding K-Knight, and suddenly Levius, last one standing.
What's the context? So we're talking about the question was, is having a big fan base a disadvantage? And I said it's a competitive disadvantage, because having a big fan base means you're more likely to get shit for losing.
Team Liquid catches fire with the rifles.
I also had a I had a plugin that removed the VLR forums in 2023. Who was being critical then, bro? The start of my 2023 year was people telling me that I wouldn't win a trophy because me and Bosa were not capable of winning trophies. So as soon as I started reading that, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to remove social media, I think, because I'm not going to be able to handle this nonsense. Like, there's probably not an environment that I'm going to be able to perform my best in. You say, what the fuck, laughing my ass off. If you think that was an uncommon or unfair assessment, like, it probably was an unfair assessment, but it was a fairly realistic assessment. We were not predicted to win lock-in. We were, I think even Pansies said to my face, like, oh, you're like a dark horse team. And I was thinking, no, we're not. I don't think we are. The hilarity is that my interpretation of my career from 2020 to 2022 is that I think I did very well. I think I was very successful. The interpretation of people on Reddit or VLR, etc., of my career between 2020 and 2022 is like failed on some level. It's like, and I don't agree with it at all. I think I had a very successful 2020 to 2022, one of the most successful 2020s to 2022s. I did not win a trophy, but I consistently did better than almost every single other coach and team. So like, to me, I still think that we should have done better during those years, but I was always proud of what we achieved. So going into 2023, people thought we were just like unable to do like as well as what we should have done, and then started calling us frauds. And I was like, okay, that's a bit unfair. So then I just got off of social media. Yeah, I mean, the hilarity was we went to what, like every single international event bar Berlin. We only failed in the group stage once because we had 2 substitutes. Like, we didn't go top 4 as much as we should have done, but we came second at a tournament and we came top 4 at a tournament.
Hasn't been able to get himself on the board quite just yet. 0-5.
So like, I was pretty happy.
That was a critical moment for him. Couldn't make it happen. Overdrive pop from Camo, quickly takes space.
But the thing is that not that they thought we were a high level mid. They literally, for some reason, like, I don't know, I don't explain it, but yeah.
Very snappy.
They seem to make the assessment that me and Bosa are holding back the team.
I was just about to say, YZ's got his ult. Maybe he could pass the rifle over to somebody else. You know what, never mind, just let him do it. Yeah. Just go ahead.
Finds the opening kill. And overall, the 5v4 conversion from BLG on the previous map was very good.
You watched the VOD of EG vs Fnatic. I didn't smile once in the coaching booth. Yeah, I was kind of locked in that game.
Kind of a tucked in position there.
I'd given it the ×2 on the walkout, so I had to be locked in. Like, I couldn't smile.
You see, I mean, Camo sliding around the back. There is
Did
not
it play a role in
fire
you
step.
stepping down? That's a good question. So sorry, I'm really sorry that it's become like me just chatting shit, but stream rather than me VOD reviewing so much. My kind of my approach to 2023 was that I was already very tired. And I was already considering what I should do. And I was like, oh my god, we built a super team. For fuck's sake. Like I kind of got I kind of gotta give this my everything. So I basically just said to myself that I was gonna do everything I possibly could in 2023 to win as much as we could. And then I would likely just give myself the option to quit at the end of 2023 was basically my approach. Thank you, Beast. Thank you, Beast. Thank you very much. 36 subs in total now. 10. So that's QK, Tubasa, Darkrai, Edit, Chronically, Rise, Ruvank, Justin, Kano for real, and SQ. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Beast. We don't have a name for us yet. Like, originally you were gonna be minions, like mini minions. I can't remember what other names we had, but I'm not sure. Should we need a group name at some point. Thank you very much, Erasmus, for the sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, what would it be? Would I ever come back?
Set up to intercept him.
The problem at the moment for next year is that I would be interested to see what offers I'd get. But right now, like I'm spinning a lot of different plates, right? Like I was very grateful that Pansy asked me to come cast with her. And it didn't go so well at the start, but like I feel like I'm like getting more comfortable. I've done the analyst desk, and I feel like I will eventually be extremely comfortable. I think I will be very good on the analyst desk eventually. I think with streaming, like the streaming numbers are getting better. Like right now, I have 565 viewers. That's like way more than I would get last year. I'm also like helping, like I help PaperX out, and like that's clearly like an avenue I could go down more, where like I could kind of instead of maybe doing full-time coaching, I could consult maybe more. And then what else am I doing? A Patreon with Sliggy. So like there's a bunch of different things I'm doing right now, and they're all going very well. Like all of them are doing very well. So like for me to go back to head coaching at this very moment, I don't know if it would make sense. I'd have to see what I get offered, I guess. But I'm very much enjoying the year I've had right now, where I'm able to like do a lot of different things. And I know I kind of like testing them all out a little bit like a buffet right now. I'm not like fully committed to any of them. And I guess for next year I need to commit maybe more to some of them. But I'm enjoying it right now. Like genuinely, like the other teams have been asking for consulting stuff too, right? PaperX reached out to me, yeah. PaperX reached out to me. But like now that I've set the precedent that like this is something that I could provide to teams, where I could be like, look, I work with PaperX a little bit. You know, I wouldn't be able to take full credit for like the success, but I could be like, look, like clearly something was working, and like I'm sure they would like vouch that I'm not an idiot. Maybe it could be nice that like already there have been other teams that contacted me already about this, you know. So yeah. To be fair, I think PaperX asked me, I think Alex asked me last year. I mean, a lot, like, not to be cocky, but a lot of teams did ask me, obviously, like this year, if I would be coaching. But yeah, I think Alex asked if I would assistant coach. But I think it makes more sense, like, to be honest with you, like being a full-time assistant coach pays not very well. Whereas like to be able to consult for teams that are like maybe doing not so well and kind of a bit more in a situation that need quick results a bit more quicker, they're obviously in a position where they might be able to open their budget a little bit more, and I don't have to work with the team daily and like be as stressed about everything. Is there any potential conflicts of being a consultant for multiple teams a short amount of time? Yes, there is. Absolutely. Like, it's something I'm very wary of course. But like, I think the way I would approach it would just be to be very open and honest with the people I'm working with. I would definitely not work with, you know, if one job required me to coach, I would not take on another one that required me to coach at the same time. If that makes sense. I wouldn't overlap in that way. When choosing a team to coach, does the roster matter, or does the brand opportunity of the hour provide my factor more? Honestly, with PaperX, I honestly took it just because it sounded like fun, to be honest with you. And it would be, you know, another, you know, I need to pay the bills a little bit. Yeah, so it was, like, I like PaperX too, you know? To me, it was almost like I've learned probably more, I probably learned more than they did, to be honest with you. Working with them, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, like, not really like so much like macro-y, kind of high level macro-y things that like I'm really interested in, like, but like overall, the way they work, I probably learned some things and kind of figured out, like, because obviously I've never worked with a different team before, so I don't know how it works, if that makes sense.
No real way to try to get a read on this one. Yeah, that doesn't...
I mean, the system I have working with them is very just like, I don't... When I first started working with them, I was very hands-on. Like, I was watching scrims, and like I was giving them like feedback during the day and stuff, but now it's mostly just Alex tells me, can you watch this VOD and give me your thoughts? And it's a bit more just, you know, it's a little bit less involved. It's a bit more kind of just like talking to Alex a bit more, if you know what I mean.
Do that.
How much time do you spend on the paperwork stuff? Honestly, like, I have to keep being honest, I haven't done very much work with them for Toronto at all. They were very busy at different tournaments, and then they took a little bit of a break, and then they flew to Toronto, I believe, and I did like a couple of days, so I really haven't had much impact for Toronto. So every time they win games, don't think that I was like heavily involved.
Hits the elimination, and that now leaves Kiko all by himself.
Obviously today I watched back, you know, I watched back that game yesterday, and like gave them some notes and stuff.
Can he escape is the question. Neff is on the hunt.
It's very different than Fnatic, where like in Fnatic I would be the person noticing the problems, and I'd really try and make sure we solve these problems together. Whereas in this situation, it's not really my responsibility to like, you know, go in and make it all like how I see the game. You know, it's like these are my suggestions and my recommendations. You know, if I keep seeing the same things coming up and they're not fixing them, then I might keep like being like, well, why are we not doing this? But ultimately, it's kind of not really my place to kind of overstep, if you know what I mean.
Well, even though the round count is neck and neck here between the two teams, Team Liquid, they're going to go ahead and pump the
Nats is on the plane. I liked what Sergio does, where when the players were flying to Europe for Koi, he had like their flight numbers. It was like they were like flight tracking the Koi players coming to Europe. I did find that funny.
Things to consider for both teams in the ult situation. Here for Team Liquid. This is
so ludicrous. Like I wish he spoke English like a bit more. Like if his streams were English, like I think I would watch his streams more.
Don't like to get mega aggressive, even with a Neon. They'll do this on Lotus. The side plan here is he's been a very different Billy that we're seeing today. I mean, obviously it was going to be a different team.
So let's look in a bit more.
But Billy's showing us some new stuff as well.
Oh, footballers, they do that for footballers? I mean, he is like a football commentator, I think. For La Liga, I think.
Sheriffs.
So,
just a classic.
It's gonna be a mid
it makes sense. Interesting push. This is like Team Liquid play they like to do with Teo too. They used to do that Teo ult thing, and they keep doing this kind of play that no matter what comp they have, where they do like a 3-pronged mid push. Obviously,
forward
C's
into the
completely
window.
open.
Nothing gonna be
Hey,
spotted.
Doma, how are you?
Plenty of noise
How are you?
made. It's Penny. To try to see if he can spot anything out. There's a swing in though, and Russia gets himself on the board. Big kill around, re-peeks and instantly gets the dink, and the spray down is okay. He's alive and well, it would seem.
When are you guys playing again, Doma? You got a big break now, right?
Quick kills and Liquid trying to go for the rush play. Come up
My watch party in Toronto? No, I'm being weird. I watch party PaperX games,
From Ruchia.
and then I VOD review the other games.
Patty Tech wants to do. Low on health. Still trying to
So like,
identify targets.
I kind of get to avoid all the
Knocked on the spot,
competition with
Pico.
all the big streamers and just get to
Finding
chill
Nope. K9
and watch the
not
games a
having
bit
any
more
of that.
detailed.
But by 2
I'll be
rounds,
honest
we
though, I
tried
kind of
to
lost track a little bit of this game
Brilliantly. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
because, you know, it's not Team Liquid at their
Put
best
Neff down to
form.
78. Penny obviously heal.
And I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this by the time the game start. So I have to figure out a way.
Yeah, they've been patient with the run it back.
Like I go to the gym. Like the problem is I needed the morning to watch back the PaperX game and give them notes, and then I went to the gym.
For contact.
So I need to figure out how to make this day a bit
It's very much not
quicker.
prescribing to the
Start it
Liquid
earlier
style.
somehow.
No.
Like, oh, we have ult.
Maybe I just need to make sure that
also now.
I give them notes for their games after on the day rather
This
than
is a
wait the
2
next day.
reserve. For now,
And then
though,
if I go to the gym earlier,
Sales pacing
then I can
around,
start
so
earlier
we haven't
probably.
really been seeing too much, and a lot of patience will be rewarded.
This is kind of detailed. I mean, it's not detailed, but we're slow.
That's that Golden Thunder now that you do not have to be concerned about for the remainder of this round.
It's a nice little identification here by Team Liquid. You know, Neff's been
It's Blazewall. Penny obviously heal.
yeah, they've been patient with the run it backs.
Again, this turret alive.
Looking
But it's
for
going to be
contact.
broken. Nice. And then for some reason, Team Liquid are one of these teams that does leave A sometimes because they have ults to play retake A, but it's not good. I guess it's a nice reaction to the breach ult, but we need to get a push down middle at some point so that we can kind of so we can have a nice retake on A that involves the flank. The next layer here though for BLG is recognizing when you've got a breach shot on this map, you have to, what I would do is always try and test and prod the A site a little bit to see if there's anyone defending it or if they've already left it. Because obviously a lot of teams are going to see this breach shot and be like, fuck that, I don't want to stand on site. I'm going to leave it. So that opens up an opportunity for the team to get the information on the site. Like we would often put like a recon back site, and if it just stayed alive, then we just walk onto site, knowing that they could still be like one person in this corner or something. If this recon broke, we'd often just send it. If the recon broke, but it felt like one person, then we might still just walk up and then save this breach shot for post plant. So like, I'm wondering if Team Liquid are going to recognize that they're going to need to push at some point in this round. I probably can't rely on these ults to retake because I don't think that you can retake through this tiny choke points very easily. Number 2 is, will PLG line up A and use this breach ult, or are they going to be smart about it?
Have ult used.
Go. Yeah, ult go now.
How do you counter that though? Leave one guy to break it and dip. We had this ludicrous protocol in Fnatic where like we had a setup where we purposely tanked the breach ult. We placed our, I'm not going to show exactly what it was, but we basically placed ourselves in positions on A where we knew who would take the ult and who wouldn't, because the ult doesn't get the whole site. There's like gaps in it. So we had like a setup where like we knew a couple people might get stunned, but at least one person's going to be fine. And we would have enough delay just to make sure that we all get unstunned and like fight together. So that was one counter. Like Bosa had this really good idea about that. That's like a really, really advanced technique, I guess. The next one is just, yeah, you essentially have one backside killing the recon. If they ult, you're going to be ulted away anyway, and you're fine. But this is, again, what I'm talking about here, 2021 Korean Valorant, basically. Like, literally Vision Strikers era, from what I remember, or early DRX. Like, all the Korean teams were already thinking about these ults in this way. Like, there was these hilarious interactions that would happen where, like, both teams would have breach ult. So there'd be, like, breach ult defense, breach ult attack. The breach ulters on attack would use their ult. The breach defenders would just use their ult back. And so it became this huge like mind game of like should ult first and who should not ult first. And the Koreans were like, it was a huge game.
For now, though, Snail's pacing around, something that we haven't really been seeing too much, and a lot of patience will be rewarded. As Neff, the raid boss himself, ends up getting taken down, and that's that Rolling Thunder now. That
What's your thoughts on Sayonara and if you can play on a tier 1 team? Fucking idiot, man. Sayonara's made a fucking... Sayonara, one of his buddies, making a fake account on my stream again, man. I think Sayonara's fucking awful, man. Sayonara, the biggest overrated player of all time. Terrible player.
Instantaneous to get the pickup.
Makes a TP.
Absolute noob.
Spike now planted. Why is he staying tucked here into the corner? Shrugs off the relay bolt. Risha instantly gets the clear here. Paranoia gonna be sent, but they haven't scouted wisely. Risha finds another. TP's for the reposition to push forward, looking for timing there as Levius is able to find one. Swing around the corner though, and Penny.
No, I know Sayonara. I think even if you clip me saying that and send it to Sayonara, there's not a chance that he'd believe it, surely. I don't think he'd believe it. Wait, sorry, I didn't even get to see. So how did the interaction happen in the end? Oh, our breach just died. BLG, man. BLG, come on, we got breach shot. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Instantaneous to get the Spike now playing. Paranoia gonna be sent, but they haven't scouted wisely. Risha finds another. TP's for the reposition to push forward, looking for timing there as Levius is able to find one.
Lost the round because they're trying to be too fancy. Just go breach shot.
YZ thinking about trying to take a little bit of space. Serial wise.
4 on A for Team Liquid.
Continues to press this. They'll find that C
Oh,
site.
bro, this team, man.
Actually hasn't spotted, but now they know. Drone doesn't look right. Actually hasn't spotted, but now they know. There's the reveal, and now Levius is in a bad spot. Down to 25.
I think BLG is trying slightly too hard in some of these rounds. Especially against the comp they're playing against. I think they could just send it.
YZ gets damaged.
And Levius has not read this at all, so he just gets taken down. The spray
Wasn't the best though, but did the job.
Finds it, and K-Knight expounds upon it. Patatech gets taken down. YZ looking for the timing swing.
Sayonara, paycheck stealer, absolutely. Do you think about Valorant in game theoretical sense, like what the Nash equilibrium is in various situations? I don't know what Nash equilibrium is. I think I'm naturally a fairly like rational, logical, borderline spectrum kind of person. So I think in terms of like percentages and odds of things happening, but I also have that counterbalance of the experience of being a I wouldn't say professional or maybe even semi-pro, but like experienced FPS player who's been around the scene long enough and is relatively normal socially. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm normal, but like I have that counterbalance of like being able to think with that logical weird brain, but also being a fairly normal kind of just social person. And so like I'm able to balance that out, if that makes sense. So I do like to think in terms of like weird kind of nerdy ways of thinking, but I'm also well aware that like you can't just fill the players' heads with this nonsense because they're not used to thinking like that. Like they got good at Valorant because they shot people in the head in ranked, and they're now like, you don't want to shock their system by like being too technical or sounding too technical. Sometimes sometimes it's just as simple as like using some of the weird like nerdy concepts, but just explaining it in a way that's not too nerdy.
Risha just stunned up, doesn't know where he's going. Eventually just kind of dog walks out in the long. Gets taken down there by Penny. 2 away from another run it back.
Hello.
To try to close out the half.
Like, would you think that's fair, Doma? I don't think I was the best coach when I was coaching you. Like, I don't think I was anywhere near as good a coach. Like, I think 2023, I know it's like, it's easy to talk about it and like the results or whatever, but like, I do genuinely think I was a much better coach in 2023. than I was when I coached Udoma. But like, would you say that's relatively fair? What I'm saying, like I knew nerdy stuff, but like I probably wasn't the biggest. Like maybe I was a dick sometimes, but I probably wasn't too weird about some of it. I think there definitely were times that I regret the ways in which I explain stuff, or maybe not moments of like I had to learn and go through it.
Blinded up, doesn't give a damn. Holds down the spray. Is Billy locking?
Like I definitely made mistakes early, but I think you're supposed to make mistakes early if you haven't coached before, I guess.
He's been waiting. He's been chomping at the
crunch here as Penny sending out that curveball. But
if I was to play a Phoenix comp, would I play? I don't think I play Neon, to be honest with you. I think I played Jet or Euro. Like I think you're lacking this operator presence without the. I'd almost have the Phoenix playing one side. Coach Mini fan club. Wait, one sec. Don't say that about yourself, Mini. You are the greatest coach in all of Valorant. Go through this part of the process, and ending Doma's career was part of that success. You can't be serious, Doma. That you don't. How am I not supposed to believe that that's not one of your friends? I only know Dogs. He had the gracious opportunity to be coached by Coach Mini. I genuinely worry sometimes that I come across like that in stream though. I genuinely worry that I come across like I won a few games in Valorant, and then like obviously I know that people are just gonna take my nonsense a little bit.
Crunch here. And Penny sending out that curveball, but will just be snapped back.
Oh, it's your ult.
Not going to be found.
Is it you?
Pushing out with no assistance. Ends up falling to the wayside. Kiko is at least able to find a kill. Tag down to 25. He has to use the ult just to get out safely. Kill.
Yeah, so I was thinking, I think I would play Jet or Euro. I'm thinking I would put Jet or Euro like one side of the map a lot of the time, and then probably have the Phoenix on the other side of the map just doing Phoenix things, is basically how I'm thinking about it. The one nice thing about the Neon is that the Neon is more likely to be able to take A main with the stun, but I think the lack of operator presence on defense Haven is probably not a great thing. Yeah, I'm Sayonara. Bro. I swear to God, if Sayonara comes, if I'm doing an analyst desk, if I'm on the analyst desk, but for Sayonara's like debut, I'm gonna be taking all of these Twitch chats and then doing a segment about how I think like I don't care about this kid's superstar performance. All I care about is that I think he might have been trolling me.
Just to get out safely. The dust settles. We find ourselves now on a 4v4.
It's just crazy. Team Liquid is just trying to press the advantage, but YZ has the angle held.
Team Liquid, they need to try to re-clear. They need to try to get information.
Based on what you've seen so far, what could Billy clean up on this map? Honestly, some of the ult usage, they just need to go into ults a little bit more easily rather than spreading the map. They're winning pretty easily against them though. I don't think it's. I don't think it's much. I've not been locked in, obviously. I've been mostly focused on Team Liquid 2 with their weird comp. But yeah, one thing that stood out to me is the ult usage could be simplified. I think they're taking too many risks on rounds where they have ults. Like even here, like simplifying this round down, they got Sova ult, right? How can we just use our Sova ult this round to win? Is basically how I think about it. They go down into a weird 4v4. But now the mid-round decision should be, where can we go to maybe get the Sova ult to get less value, you know?
Is at least able to find a kill. Tag down to 25. You has to use the ult just to get out safely.
Notice how Dome isn't typing when Coach Mini Fan Club is
We
typing.
find ourselves now on a 4v4.
It's just crazy. Team Liquid is just trying to press the advantage, but YZ has the angle held.
This is the promise Team Liquid, they need to try to re-clear.
And even like this too, like I think the Killjoy turret was dealt with mostly well from BLG,
Information.
but were there times in which they let this turret stay alive when they shouldn't have?
Going tit for tat here.
How long we got? We got
3v3.
30 minutes to the game start, right? As soon as Sticky goes live, I'll raid Sticky. I think is basically going to be my logic.
Dealt. The kill cannot be found.
Man, you want to keep K9 alive.
He's live already. I might just raid him as soon as this is over. He's live already.
BLG.
Okay, so we've taken some learnings away from today that I'm not quick enough at VOD reviewing. Oh my god, look at Sue. Look at her farming the farming the sponsorship money. Farming MasterCard.
At a rebound, down by that.
Let's watch the pistol, then I'm gonna raid Sticky. I think that, yeah, I'm gonna need to be quicker. I'm gonna need to stop yapping, and I need to set up these days a bit longer, because obviously I'm gonna have to watch 2 whole series before they, you know, maybe we just pick out certain maps. I don't know.
Lone occupant here.
Yeah, me and Dome are setting up a super team. You know how there's like every team has a performance coach now, and every team pretends that they're professional. Me and Doma want to make a super team of like the opposite of performance coach. Like performance coaches are banned. Healthy eating's banned. Smoking and drinking is encouraged. There's no curfew. Like you're encouraged to stay up late. Toxicity is encouraged. Coaching is generally considered fraud behavior, but I think we need a head coach. Why do we need a head coach? Why am I in this team? I'm trying to think. Like, what is my value in this team? We need a coach to book pracs. That's good. Yeah, I'm just there to book the pracs, I think. Yeah, I'm there to book pracs and flame other teams. I'm implementing the culture. To be fair, yeah, I need to lead on the culture. Sayonara hater 1. You're a bunch of idiots, man. People seem to think Artis needs to be. Artis is nowhere. No, Artis is not toxic enough for our team. Just because Artis says silly things sometimes and it's funny doesn't mean that he's. Like, Artis is too nice in a team environment. Like, Artis is a good teammate, I feel like. We don't want any good teammates. So Doma's number 1, obviously, as number 1 toxic player in the world. I'm head coach. Like, you actually, do we get Twitch chat to fill out the roster? Because I can't say who should fill out this roster. I'm not allowed to say who should be filling out this roster, to be fair. I don't think it's I don't think that's allowed. Sayonara's number 2. 2023 Zeke. 2023? 2023 Zeke. Two phones. 2 phones. I don't even know 2 phones. All I know is that he's in my chat sometimes. And there's a peak on Icebox that Derek calls 2 phones peak. Trex? No, Trex. I don't think Trex is top. Like, I don't think you guys know enough about Trex. Foxy. Foxy's number 5. Foxy's our IGL. Someone said Chet as the coach. That's bad. Who's my assistant coach? We want an assistant coach. Who would actually be a good assistant coach here? I think that's just throwing shit under the bus. Frost is not that person. Frost, no handshake Frost. Alex is like a good coach. Like, what are you talking about? To be fair, Shat when he's talking about chicken nuggets is good. Sliggy. Just have it Sliggy. I can't think of an assistant coach for us. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna raid Sliggy. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry that we only got to 50% of the VOD review done. But yeah, we'll go raid Sliggy. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll try and make it earlier so we can watch more. And I think I'll be more locked in for Sentinels playing. No problem, Doma. No problem, Sayonara. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Have fun watching the games. Wait, why has it not worked? Why have I literally put /raid and it's not worked? Oh, there we go. I had a space in it, I think. Right, catch you on the flippity flip. Should be Brennan Hook. I mean, Sliggy makes the most sense right now.